away from Gaming Showcase Finals in Washington. They're gonna bury here to go on to face who?
Who are they gonna face? We'll find out as the EU division has made its way to the playoffs. It is a best of 5, the first round of the playoffs of the Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming. We are seeing Prima Esport versus RCTIC, and who will walk away with a major share of that $20,000 for the first time in the EU. I am excited. I hope you're excited as well. And I cannot wait to see what happens in this series. Good evening and welcome, everybody. My name is F5 Penguin, aka Nick DeMeo, joined alongside Tegan Blair. It's King Lime, and we'll have Brandon bMaJuH Bigsby joining us shortly for a great series today. Prima versus RCTIC, and I couldn't be more excited to be here in this virtual booth alongside with you, Tegan.
Hey, Nick, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure here at the Caps Gaming Showcase, and we have a great one on the docket tonight as RCTIC going against Prima esport. Pretty similar record here, Nick. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys go head-to-head tonight.
I know it gets really exciting over in the NA division when you have so many teams and everybody gets a chance to try to get into the playoffs. This one's a little bit different, and I think I could argue I'm kind of more excited about that, considering the fact that pretty much everyone's got a shot into the playoffs. You were fighting for seed position, and now you can almost have your Cinderella story kind of take place here. You only get one shot here, one round to determine if you move on. Anybody can maybe kind of make an impact here to go up against those H-Reds and Frolundas and Havus, right?
Yeah, we kind of spoke about that and touched on it briefly last cast, but it is those teams that you have to worry about. And with everybody making it in this scenario, you could have a team that is climbing up from last place who could come up and make a real impression here on the EU side.
I really like it as well. And I love the underdog story. I like the Cinderella story. So I'm excited from that perspective, just to see who could take down that David and Goliath kind of battle we talk about from time to time. But let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about here. Let's bring up this matchup here. It's Prima Esports versus RCTIC, and it's going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, it definitely is. Obviously, RCTIC going 4-4, Prima going 3-5, but bMaJuH, we're going to bring in Brandon Bigsby as he's got a little more to say about this matchup.
Oh yeah, Lyman, it's playoff time, isn't it? The best time of the season in any league or tournament that you into. This is what you've been playing and scratching and clawing for. And like Nick said, obviously, most of our teams, all of our teams qualifying for the playoffs, but it's just a little bit different because now the 8 weeks, none of that means anything. You lost a few close games, that's okay, because all of that means nothing once you get to that time in the postseason. For all of these teams, everything is in front of them, and right now it's a fresh start and a clean slate. Both of these teams in RCTIC and Prima gonna look to get things started and maybe be two of those Cinderella stories that you and Nick were kind of talking about there.
Yeah, and for RCTIC, Limbe leading the way with 18 goals. He's got a bit of a step on the rest of his team. Do you think Prima is going to be trying to pull that down?
It's going to be tough, man. We saw Limbe in a few weeks ago in our featured matchup where they played Granite Gaming, and he was all over the ice. He is a hard man to stop on that left wing for RCTIC, so it's going to be a handful for Prima to do so, but they have a solid defensive team on their hands, maybe a little underratedly so. When they are locked in and clicking on all cylinders, they can be a really hard team to score on. So I think if they can control Limbe, keep him out of those high danger areas, I think it'll do Prima a lot of good, but it's going to be a tough task to do that because he puts the puck on net, puts it on often, and he's able to capitalize when he gets those chances.
Yeah, you see the goals for us. That's why I touched on that a little bit with RCTIC leading the way there. Brandon, what else do you notice on that right-hand side for RCTIC?
I think it's got to be the time on attack for them. 521 for RCTIC compared to 226 for Prima esport. And that's something that RCTIC is really going to try to control in this game, is that time of possession, trying to give themselves more chances in the offensive zone by just controlling the puck, moving it around, and just kind of establishing that zone to make the game kind of flow in the way they hope to. And another thing too, how about the shot difference? They may not have the highest time on attack differential, but it shows that when they are in the zone, they are creating those opportunities for themselves. And even if you aren't necessarily controlling the zone with that elite 7 to 8 minutes of time on attack per game, if you were able to create enough opportunities, it doesn't make as big of a difference in some instances. So 39 shot difference is a really telling one, especially when you look at the left side with that minus 77. Going to be interesting to see if Prima can kind of close that gap between them and RCTIC here in this series.
Yeah, pretty similar power play on either side. That shot difference should take a toll in that, but a very similar power play was still at minus 77 shot difference. Brandon, it looks like Prima likes to maybe not shoot as much, but maybe some quality over quantity.
Yeah, and that's just a difference of play style. You see even a lot of these higher-end elite teams have that. They might only get 8 or 9 shots a game compared to their opponent's 18 to 19, but all 8 or 9 shots are high-danger opportunities to where 4 or 5 of them could even go in. So it just kind of is a difference of play style. Some teams prefer to just put it on net, pepper the goalie. You never know what can happen. You know what they say, you put it on net, you never know. RCTIC kind of taking that strategy while Prima may be saying, okay, let's move the puck around, wait to open up that space to get that high danger opportunity. And then when we get it, it's just important that we capitalize it. So just kind of a difference of strategies and offensive play styles kind of contrasting against one another, but both can work. It just depends on which goalie can stand on their head the most and make those big saves when needed.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can. 2 goalies in the nets that are obviously able to do that, and the defense looking pretty good on both sides as well here.
Yeah, and I think that that's going to be a big key for this game. The defensemen and the goaltending both going to have to step up. We saw when we covered RCTIC Gaming's team against Granite, Azestine and Layout were really solid, especially on that defensive end, of not giving Granite those high-end opportunities. A team that is kind of like Prima in ways where they like to establish the zone and get those high-quality opportunities rather than just peppering. While I think for Prima, it's going to be more important for Dankin to kind of be on top of it because he's going to get a lot of shots seen on him, maybe close to 15 to 20 per game with the way that RCTIC likes to play. So that's kind of the difference of those play styles, seeing again who's going to have to step up a little bit more. Both of those guys are going to have a lot to say in this game. They're going to be on a high quality because the difference between last week and this week, the loser sees no next week. Their season is done. So got to be on your game and play at top quality. For all of these guys, it's going to be fun to watch these two teams match up as they look to extend their season.
Right, Brandon. So a best of 5. Both teams with their backs against the walls here at the Caps Gaming Showcase presented by Leidos. We have Prima Esports going against RCTIC. We're going to jump down to ice level with Nick DeMeo.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Limer. Good to have you aboard with me, as always, my friend. I'm excited for this one. Prima Esports versus RCTIC here on the Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos, powered by Leaguegaming.com. And our League Gaming dynamic stat system at the top right of your screen and at the ticker as well. We'll bring that to you as score lines come in. Really excited for that. So this best of 5, hope you're strapped in. Should be a great one. And we'll see if Prima can move their way up the ladder after having an interesting journey to get to this point right now. As face-off is about to begin, Prima Esports in those white jerseys going north on your screen. And that's RCTIC going south with that shot whistling wide, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Layout ripped one from the left point. That's another shot coming in. And that one's saved as well by Dankin. He's going to board that one to the side, and 3 shots, 2 on net for a quick start for RCTIC here in the beginning of this playoff match here, Tegan.
Yeah, we kind of said that too, didn't we? Is that RCTIC likes to put the puck on the net quite a bit, where Prima is more of a quality type shooting team. So we'll see if that plays out as we carry on.
Azestine will take it out, send it up to Lindbergh. Ear got some speed, 2-on-1 chance, backhanded. Didn't get a lot on it, so Dankin was able to track that one down and hold on for a draw.
Yeah, a little bit of telegraphing that path, too. It made it pretty easy for Dankin to get across and make that save on that backhand shovel shot. We'll see if RCTIC can keep going in the offensive zone draw here.
Step up face-off win was won by Prima. And that Snoosit got it for now. He brought it into the zone, but not for long as that one's moved around. Layouts got it. He'll bank it along for a nice pass up, but it's offside. What a beauty of a play out of the zone, but just unfortunate.
Yeah, that could have turned out pretty well if Prima was able to get in. But these offensive zone draws, we saw it all tournament long, how successful they've been. We haven't seen anything yet.
These quick push wins for the defense to come up and just kind of speed their way through has worked so far. Azastine with a shot. Doesn't get through as that one's blocked and pushed off to the left side of your screen. Still going at it now. Right point, Azastine shot in. Picked off by Henka nicely as 3-on-2 back through the zone. And they try to get back into the attacking end, but so far, Prima's been shut down in the offensive end of their ice. 12:45 here in the first period. No score. Lots of shots for Arctic. Lindbergh with a chance around the back of the net. In Limbe, and excuse me on that, as he tried that give and go to the short side. Almost ended up fortuitous for them. But Dankin able to stay with it. Defense keeping it away for right now. Iryu back on the attack. He'll bank that one in along the back behind the net. That's scooped out by Prima through center. Fadimus has got that one just offside as a charging Snoosit tried to keep that one onside.
I got to go back to that little sneaky play by Arctic behind the net there. I don't think Limbe expected that. He had a wide open yawning cage there. Wasn't able to thread it.
Face-off one back by Arctic Gaming. He's got lane there. Backhand 5-hole. He scores. What a beauty of a goal off the face-off play. It's 1-0.
Yeah, we're not going to get a replay off that, I believe, because that is an own goal. You saw the player there slam his stick, but you know what? Yuryu's not going to hold that one back. That's a good goal by Arctic, and they're going to start early.
No, and it all came from that great feed off the face-off win. He had a step on him, so that backhand might have been saved. Some could argue that, so whether or not it bounced off the stick, the skate, the body, the pad, they don't, I think that's what you say, Limer. They don't really count or ask how, they just ask how many. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's a 200 IQ comment there, Nick.
So it's 1-0, and there's an icing here.
Yeah, that one's going to get thrown all the way down. We're going to come all the way back. Arctic, they love to put the puck on net, and that's probably why, Nick. A lot of chances, a lot of bank-ins. It's been interesting this year, and they get one here early.
Face off there, one-time chance from the left circle, gets denied. Good pick off there. Gezid getting in the lane there, keeping that one away from the net so far. And Snoosit going to send that back up for attack offside again. Just can't get in sync on that blue line right now.
Yeah, they're having a little bit of trouble, but a good job by Dasplin there as you watched him hold it in on the right-hand side. You know, that was a good play. Arctic had two players streaking down to the other end, but they just can't get into the zone. You're absolutely right, Nick.
End around now. Sent up for Naiku. Naiku banks it to himself, maybe accidentally. He's got it still. Picked off by Henka. Gezid. Now up for Demas. Demas back up Gezid. Henka's got a lane. Can't get the shot off, though. Henka's got it again. Just kind of saucers it behind the net. Picked up now right side. Good shot in, but can't get it on net. That's Snoosit with a ripper from the high slot area. He's going to get active here early. 2-on-1 behind the net, fought out by Azastine. Sent off for Limbe. He's got it on the right side. Tried that pass through and thwacked at it, but could not connect to his teammate. Fadimus back on the attack. Gets bumped off by Iryu. Iryu now to the left side. Sent around the net. They're going to slow things down, Arctic, and that's the third or fourth time they've kind of brought things back to a halt and then come out of their zone. Here they go on the offense again. Behind the net looking for a way through. Snoosit's picked off. Lost it just briefly. Naiku still on the attack here. Henka trying to get in the lane. As scores come in, you'll see those EU scores kind of trickle their way through. We'll keep you up to speed as that happens with a backhand chance. In front, rebound opportunity. And Yusa Cisco getting active here a little bit late in the first period, but he was tested there. That one's shot on net, bounces off the goalie, and that's going to do it for the first period. 1-0 Arctic, but we've seen a little bit of a resurgence by Prima at the end of one.
Yeah, great job there by Houston Cisco. That was Prima's probably best chance, but he's got saves to saves there, Brandon.
Yeah, I like it, Lime. I like it, man. And yeah, you kind of noticed the first 15 minutes there was a bit of a struggle for Prima to kind of establish and get anything going. We said how they're a quality over quantity team. Well, they weren't really getting either. They weren't really able to get past the blue line. There was a lot of offsides, and you have to credit Arctic's defense for that in the neutral zone, but that was a solid last 5 minutes or so for Prima. They really started to get things going. They started to test Cinco just a little bit, even though they only had the one shot. You kind of see they were starting to find a way to break open into the zone and to get things going on the offensive end. They're going to have to do that against this Arctic team. Otherwise, Prima might not be looking good for them, but I think you saw some encouraging signs from them there at the end of that first period. Just got to keep it going and keep building on that if you're the team in white.
It's period number 2 about to get underway here. 1-0 your scoreline. Shots 4-1 in favor of Arctic. The men in black and blue. No copyright infringement necessary there, as that one was intercepted by Limbe. He tried to go on the counterattack quickly, but that was thwarted by the defense in Prima. So here they go. Demas trying to get through that blue line again, and watch for that all game here. That might be the tail of the tape, as Asastine will pick him off. Fought off. Oh, and leveled there. Snooset comes out of position, though. This could be dangerous. You on the 3-on-1, and it falls to Dankin. Skates, and he holds on for a whistle.
That's a good play, though. You know, maybe taking that step up. The CZ's got the winger back to help out, so it was a good chance, but the puck ended up being held on there by Dankin.
Trying to slip that one up to the offense off that face-off win from the defensive end for Prima. Fails short there. Naiku's back in the offensive end. Trying to do something with it, maybe a little bit fancy, so the left winger in Fadimas takes that away. Still kept in right side. Das Blund. He's had it. Lost it. Trying to get something going. Limbe. Up now left side. Holds it from the corner. Looking for a teammate to pass to. He'll find one that came out for him. Get that up to the right point now. Shot and tipped. Good chance there. Naiku off the rebound. Can't get that one scooped into net, as that effort came in like a laser from the point on the tip-in. Trying to get this out now is Prima. They can't. Shot in, gets blocked, and Henka will try to move that out gingerly. Finds Snooset. Snooset banked up Fadimas. Now the right defenseman in. That's Dasplund. He'll get wrecked at the left circle. Naiku will spin it back around. You. Again, with the man on his stick trying to find a teammate to get that to. Maybe shooting first might be the answer there for a brief moment.
Yeah, well, they usually do shoot first, don't they, Nick? That's really all they have been doing this game. I even thought he was trying to pass that on net, maybe get a rebound off the goaltender's pad out front, as it's been successful for Arctic here in the tournament.
Good steal off that face-off draw. That gets defended well for Prima, who's hanging on right now, as the time on attack really favors Arctic right now. That shot blocked as it hit a stick of his teammate Iryu. Naiku from the corner. Brought it back out, but Fadimas will take it away. Henka through middle now. Snooset dangles a little bit. Finds a saucer pass through. And what a beauty of a play to the right side. Augezid gets one, and this one's tied.
They're shooting 50%, Nick, and we spoke about it in the precast with Brandon. They do not shoot often, but when they do, it's a great scoring chance. That's their second shot of the game, their second scoring chance, and that is a gorgeous saucer pass to Augezid, and he puts that one in the back of the net. No mistake. Very close there by Arctic's goaltender, Houston Cisco, but he just wasn't able to get the glove on it. Great goal, and it's a 1-1 game.
Icing here at the halfway point of game number 1. Man, that was the best offensive play we've seen from them so far, Tegan. And now they got a chance here on the offensive draw. See how this one shakes out. Face-off win. Good win by Fadima. Short side chance. Good save by Houston Cisco. Some life out of Prima Gaming right now.
Yeah, that is a very, very sneaky face-off play where it just goes over. But here you go, Nick.
Augezid almost had one on a breakaway. And it was stolen. I guess not stolen, but poked from behind and out to the corner. Irius finally got that out of his end. Wrapped all the way around, no icing. Stolen. Limbe, that time it really was. Shot there, saved by Dankin. Dankin's looked great so far, as Henka's trying to rebound for his team. Trying to get two unanswered. Can't get that one. Close the door. Left side now. Shot in. Iryu. That whistle's just past the goalie in Dankin. He's been tested early and often as, oh my goodness, Dasplund takes a huge hit from his bench area. Slow to get up, maybe he lost his stick there. Augezid fighting for it.
He's been hit a couple times pretty hard down there, Nick, when he tries to get the puck into the zone here. Good job standing up at the line.
Defense taking a pummeling right now for Prima. We'll see how that withstands over time, as we know that fatigue rating can get a little bit dicey as we get later into the game. Good move here on the forecheck by Henka. Henka, short side wrist shot. Easy save for use in Cisco, but that rebound opportunity is trying to fall to the stick of his teammates. Under 2 to play here in the second period. Henka, good shot into the front for Fadimas. He gets a goal here, and it's 2-1.
And there it is. We just see it once again here, Nick. Great passing play by Prima esport. And that is just what it is for these guys. They don't shoot as much as RCTIC, but do they ever capitalize, Nick? That's a great pass down to the center. The center throws a nice little saucer pass across ice. We see that so much in this game. High percentage plays. They work well. And it's now a 2-1 game with nowhere near the amount of shots as RCTIC.
So now, RCTIC's got to look to get something back here. Under a minute to play here in the second period. As we said, this is a best of 5. This is game number 1. Limbe is going to try to do it himself. Under 10 to go. Azastine drives in, looking for a shot. Can't find one. Left side shot came in. Kick saved by Dankin as time expires here. And that's going to do it. 2-1. 2 goals here in the second period. Brings us to a 2-1 scoreline at the end of 2 going into the third period.
Yeah, Prima esports answering strong in that period there, Brandon.
Yeah, and boy, did they need it. It kind of felt like RCTIC had so many chances, had all that time on attack. Got to give a lot of credit to Prima and their goaltending and defense, not allowing RCTIC to get more than one. We see all the time, Tegan, how when a team is able to attack for so long and give themselves so many chances, that can kind of build. And Nick, you kind of also alluded to that fatigue, just being stuck in your own zone for so long, having to fend off chances and fend off chances. Well, Prima not really allowing RCTIC to capitalize on those shots that they have. They finally get one through on their second shot, and then they come right back in and get another one just a few minutes later, really starting to feel like they're getting their groove going a little bit despite the sluggish start. And man, if they can keep this going on the defensive end the way they have with not having that time on attack, Prima gotta feel good about their chances in this third. Just gotta keep doing what they did the last few minutes of that second period.
As we continue on here, period number 3. And that was a great showing. Dankin's got to hang on to that one as the forecheck from RCTIC was pushing early on here.
Yeah, and this is exactly what RCTIC needs to do in this third period. This is super important. They know how to put the pucks on net here, and they need a goal. If Prima comes down and gets another quick passing play, they're going to have a huge hill to climb here, Nick. So let's see lots of shots here from RCTIC. I expect it.
Shots got to come early and often here. That shot gets in. Short side opportunity. They're trying to pepper the goalie on the short side in Dankin. He's not budged so far. We'll see how he reacts here as the game continues on. He might trick or sway himself to the other side as Naiku tries to lay that one in. But he was denied as well. Icing here, 16:47.
Good job by Azastine there, Nick, as he comes up and makes a good play. We're going to look for him to jump in some more. Maybe not with those body checks he's been doing in period 1 and 2, but to try and get that puck up to his forwards.
Face-off 1. Prima's got that one. Fadimas, who got that go-ahead goal in the second period, lays up one for Ogezit. Ogezit can't get that shot off, though, as he was accosted by Azastine yet again. You mentioned him a few times in this contest. His name comes up even more. That pass from a tested Fadimas was successfully reached to Henka. That one instead, though, by Snoosit, was picked off. Asastine's got it again on the give and go up the right side and offside, so now they're having trouble getting into the zone.
Yeah, and great job here by Prima. They don't mind playing the slow game here, Nick. They've got 14 minutes to go, and they don't mind slowing it down, but I wouldn't recommend taking their foot off the pedal.
Trying to pick that one up with Snoosit. He couldn't find it. Iryu's got it behind his back. Tried to find the pass across the ice. He did so, but no shot on. Behind the net now. Azastine, dangerous pass out of the zone, but it was successful as that one was stolen instead. Playoff time is here. Round number 1 of the playoffs. Best of 5s all the way through up till the finals. Fadimus up for Henka. Henka trying to dangle his way through, but Layout, there's a name we haven't heard in a little bit, gets active here. Stolen. Trying to move it along. Azastine will send it back up. Iryu, left side now. Naiku gets bumped off. Puck's taken by Fadimus from the corner, working out of it. Under 11 to play here in the third period. Down by 1 is RCTIC. RCTIC, Azastine got a shot in. That's blocked. Good effort there on the second push to try to get that one on net, but that one was picked off by Snoosit.
Great defense here by Snoosit in front of the net, and Prima altogether as a unit here is doing very good, keeping RCTIC outside and trying to keep them on the outside here when they do enter the zone, Nick.
Naiku from the left circle. Azastine, center point, can't get that shot through. That hit a couple of sticks again as the defense for Prima has come alive here in the second half of this contest. Sauce pass in front, chance off the iron. Gezid going back for it. Henka, he's back there trying to kick that one along. He's going to take it himself around the net. Looking for a lane on. Shot somehow got through. Yusin Cisco holds on and will have a face-off.
Great job there by Yusin Cisco. He's got to be perfect throughout this game if RCTIC wants a chance here. We're getting into the dying moments of the third period, and Prima's in a pretty good position.
Face-off win. That was Augazid trying to get that one just through. Take a shot on net. He has not been able to do so. He's been challenged most of the game here, looking for that insurance marker. Fadimus will just strip away the puck brilliantly from the left side. Fadimus through center. He had that one. Now it hits the corner for Azastine to take it out. Width of the ice pass for Layout. Naiku's going to bobble that one just for a bit. He's got it back on his stick. Sidesteps the defense there. And what a play by Naiku, but a better save by Dankin.
That is a fantastic save by Dankin, and if he keeps this up, it's going to be tough for RCTIC to get one by him.
Crazy play there by Naiku, and he goes and get off the backhand there, and Dankin stands tall. A penalty coming up here. Oh, and wrecked at the right side. That was Augezid, so we'll have a power play, this time for Prima. First one of the game.
What a save on that backdoor backhand, Nick. Dankin says, Donka, I'll take that one, no problem. Great save by him, and a little power play here for Prima to maybe give one back to their goaltender.
See if they can capitalize here. Henka behind the net. He'll start off on this power play opportunity. Cross-ice feed does not find anybody. Picked off along the boards. Shot in. That one goes high. Falls to Yusin Cisco coming off the backboard, and he'll just hold on.
Yeah, he doesn't mind holding on to that one, giving his team a bit of time to regroup, and they've only got about 72 seconds left here on this power play. See if Prima can get an answer here. A little insurance.
Naiku with under a minute left in this penalty kill. Just trying to kill some time and get back on the attack as time is winding down. Layout's got it. Sent up. Oh, and tried to find the lead pass. Good way for Dankin to play that one out. Brilliant move there by RCTIC, and time expires on the power play.
RCTIC, only a minute and a half left here, Nick, and there they go. They get the puck and go to work.
Real time 60 seconds to conclude this game, at least in regulation for now. Layout. Azastine, D to D. Pass through, finds its way through, but it falls to the stick of the defense in Prima. They get that out quickly. Augezid up Henka. Henka looking for it. Fadimus was there, but the shot was on. Hit off the mask of Yusin Cisco. Under 35 to play now. Augezid just going to slap shot that one along. Maybe looking for the Omaha. Can't beat out the icing, though, and it'll come back all the way into his zone.
Yeah, regardless if that was for the Omaha player to slow things down, what a save by Yusin Cisco to give RCTIC a chance here, Nick.
Limbe from the left side. Right side now. Penalty is coming up here. RCTIC could use it. Oh, they pulled their goalie. Scratch that. I thought that was a penalty coming up, but no. They pulled the goalie. The extra man is out here, and they go offside. Unfortunate here for RCTIC.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. They get the goaltender out, and they're really running out of time here. 13 seconds left. They got to get into the zone here right on this draw, Nick.
Trying to get it out. They've got it. They win it. Limbe's trying to put that back in. He's in the zone. Asistine, center point. Working with it. Shot, and he scores! Coming in from the left circle. Oh, my goodness! We have a tie game.
I've said this guy's name a lot tonight. Asistine, what a goal. RCTIC loves to put the puck on net, and they do right there. I'm not sure it went off anybody, and Denkin looked like he was a bit out of position, but nonetheless, that one goes over, and it looks like it's time for some extra hockey.
He yoinked that one into the back of the net. It blew me away, and we have a penalty too, so RCTIC's going to be going on the power play here. Face-off coming in their offensive end. Might be enough to do something if they pull their goalie. Maybe go 6-on-4 here. And the centerman's out.
6-on-4 could be the way there, but it doesn't look like they're going to do it there, Nick. And maybe that's a little too much, you know?
It's the game management aspect of this that gets challenging as that shot got through, but it went just past Dankin, so after being quiet for nearly a period and a half, RCTIC comes back, buries one, and sends this one to overtime. It's 2-2.
2-2, and what a goal by Asistine at the end there, Brandon.
And sometimes it's just showing up in big-time moments that can mean the most there, Tegan. Asistine with a huge goal, and interestingly enough, a lot of traffic there in front of Duncan. I kind of wonder if maybe that impacted the way his goalie read that, but nevertheless, how about RCTIC? Felt like just for about really this whole third period, didn't really have a lot going for them. Prima kind of controlling the puck for the most part, not necessarily in the offensive end, but it was kind of a neutral zone game throughout most of that third period. They didn't allow RCTIC to really get a lot of opportunities and to get those shots on net that they typically like to. Well, they finally broke through with just about 30 seconds left, and Asistine just ripped one from the point, a different look than what anything RCTIC had thrown at him. Now it's not just any overtime, but playoff overtime. Can't wait to hear you guys call it.
Playoff overtime here as we are already getting bonus hockey here, Tegan. It's a Sunday, it's 2 p.m. on the East Coast, and we've got some bonus hockey. Asistine from the playoffs here, or from the power play, rather, as the rebound comes in. And that was sitting for Naiku to bury it. Good defensive effort here. Das Blue, though, comes back and scores with the game winner in overtime. The right defenseman from Prima Esports picks that one off, takes it home, and gets his first goal of the playoffs. Prima wins game 1, 3-2.
A goal by Dasplin. He spent most of his time staring up from Asistine, but when it matters, he gets around him, takes it forehand, Brandon, and it's a 1-0 series lead for Prima Esport.
And Dasplin and Asistine making their fellow defensemen proud watching this matchup. The game-tying goal from a defenseman and the game-winning goal from a defenseman, but it's for Prima Esport in Dasplin coming up huge with that goal and short-handed. Nevertheless, that's what really was shocking to me about that. You figure for RCTIC, with the way that they like to put the puck on net, having that power play would benefit them in that situation. Prima Esports just being able to take advantage of creating the turnover. Dasplin goes up the ice, puts the shot on net in RCTIC-esque fashion, and converts on a great opportunity to win this game 1 and to go up 1-0 in the series. What a game.
What a game is right, Brandon. And we kind of talked about it briefly beforehand, that Prima Esport would be the team to maybe not shoot as often, but they definitely know where to put the puck in, and Dasplin showed that there.
Yeah, only 7 total shots on net for that entire game, but all of them were rather high danger opportunities, with obviously 3 of them going in, so that's barely around a 50% save rate for your goalie. So that kind of goes to show you, even though they might not take that strategy of, oh, let's put shots on net, you never know what can happen, they will get their opportunities, and when they do get them, more than likely it's going to be a pretty dangerous chance because of how much they work for those opportunities. And for RCTIC, you feel like they had a pretty good game for the most part. 7+ minutes time on attack. They had 14 shots on net, maybe even on the lower end from what you would normally see from them, but Prima able to take advantage of their opportunities just a little bit more, and the quality of their shots just being a little bit higher than what RCTIC saw in that game. That kind of felt like the difference, and then you add in that defensive aspect that Prima really showed in the last period and a half, that they really stepped up on that end, which helped them a lot as well. So job not done for Prima at all, but man, that's a great game one. Now do you keep building on it, and how do you keep building on it? Well, if you're RCTIC, how do you adjust from that game one that didn't go your way, and you maybe kind of thought that with the way you were playing in that game, you could have won it?
Yeah, and what about the defense of Dasplin and Azastine? Azastine playing very well in that hockey game for RCTIC, moving the puck up on the breakout. He was laying the body. He ended up getting that late time third period goal to force an early morning or early afternoon overtime, depending on where you are, or evening for that matter, all the way across the pond, Brando. And then Dasplin came back and scored that overtime goal, and what an answer that was after having a tough game on that side against Azastine.
Yeah, and what's interesting that you said about that hit total, Azastine only had 28 hits in the games he played, so that's 28 hits in 18 games. That's not really a high total, so didn't really expect to see him throw the body around the way he did. But Tegan, you mentioned it, man. How about the defensemen? They were kind of the ones to steal the show in this game with the way both of them were able to play on their own end. And then you saw both defensemen get the last two goals. Azastine with the game tire with about 30 seconds left. And then Dasplin, as we have seen defensemen do a lot throughout this tournament, stepping up in the offensive play to create an opportunity for his team. He did it right there, created the turnover, took it himself and said, guys, I've got this, and won it for his team off of what was a pretty well-created opportunity. It was a high-danger chance with a lot of quality, so it shows that it's not just the three forwards of Prima that can do that. They have all five guys that can create chances that are really dangerous for your opponent, and you gotta watch out for really everyone on the ice when it comes to this team.
Yeah, and now you're down 1-0 in a series to a team that doesn't shoot often, but when they do, your nerves tighten up and it gives you shivers up your spine because they're shooting at a very, very high percentage.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it so important. I think that what went well for RCTIC in that first period is they didn't allow Prima to really establish the zone. You saw a lot of offsides, and even Nick kind of mentioned in the first period, Prima was having trouble getting past that blue line. RCTIC wasn't letting them really get anywhere past the neutral zone, and when you create those turnovers, it's able to kind of stagnate those offensive chances for them because they aren't really able to get anything. You're not going to get those chances in the neutral zone because you can't establish anything that's high danger. So RCTIC was kind of fending that off for the first period, and it felt like the more the game went on, the better Prima got, and the easier they found it to get into the zone. Once they were able to establish it, those high danger opportunities started to open up. They got that space, and they're so good at capitalizing when you give them that one little chance that they take advantage of so well. So I think if RCTIC can play through the entire three periods for game two the way they played in period one, they have a good chance, but Prima did a good job adjusting and seeming to figure something out that was working for them really in the last 2.5 periods for them.
So saying that, Brandon, you are down in the series 1-0. RCTIC is known to shoot that biscuit. Are they going to continue doing that here as we get further into this best-of-5 series, or do they just continue throwing that rock on net?
I think you kind of continue it, but maybe you do it in a different way. To be honest, I felt like a lot of the looks that RCTIC got weren't really very high danger. Obviously, it's important to throw the puck on net, but it has to at least have a threat of scoring. Kind of felt at some points that some of those shots, they were stuck, didn't really have a pass, and said, okay, let's throw it on net, see what happens. Maybe we get a freeze in the offensive zone face-off. So it just felt like a lot of the shots they had weren't really testing Dankin too much in that game. So maybe you see a few rebound opportunities and crashing the net, or a few deflections. Interestingly enough, Yearyu, the RCTIC center, second in the league during the regular season in deflections with 21. The only player with more, Eki with 22. That's great company to be in, and we didn't really see them go for those plays more than once or twice throughout the game. So I think you can continue to play the way that you're playing if you're RCTIC. Just maybe have to switch up the positioning that you get those in for maybe a couple of tips, a couple of rebounds, just how you're putting those shots on that more than anything.
I can't agree more, Brandon. Thank you for your amazing analyst as always. Prima going against RCTIC. This is going to be game number 2. Prima leading the series 1-0. And we are going to jump down here to ice level with Nick DeMeo at the Caps Gaming Showcase presented by Leidos.
So, RCTIC tried to come back in game number 1. And it might have been a case of too little, too late as we gear up for game number 2 with Prima coming back from almost the grave. And on their journey through the EU playoffs has been stellar here in game number 1. Held on for the lead and made something happen. 2 unanswered goals, then got tied in to force an overtime, and then brought home the bacon here in game number 1. But that doesn't matter because there's a best of 5 here, so they need to win 3 to move on. Jerseys may have changed, player names have not. As play continues here, Dasplin from behind the net, going north on your screen for Team Prima Esports versus RCTIC Gaming. We're in the zone now. Augezit, who's been trying to be active all game long so far, looking to try to put some stuff on his back to ensure maybe an early marker here in game number 2, as that pass was intended for him and he couldn't get a hold of it. Layout up for Naiku. Naiku left side. Layout again in position now from Azastine, center point. Off the rebound and another rebound. Oh my goodness gracious. So that shot came in, was blocked out to the right. That shot hits the post, rebounds back to the left side, and it's 1-0 for RCTIC.
Well, just like that, Nick, RCTIC answers my questions. Me and Brandon briefly touched on it there in the intermission, and we said, are they going to keep shooting the puck, Brandon, or are they going to, take some quality shots? Not these guys. Let's keep putting the puck on net, and it works off the back post. How many rebounds can you get? It goes in.
So 1-0 with a backhand chance, trying to make that 2 real quick. Holding short there. Trying to find his way through is Naiku. He'll lay it out for layout, rather. Now Iryu can't get the shot through. That's Snoosit getting fought after. Fadimas will finally alleviate the pressure. No, stolen. Lippe shot. He scores! 2-0 now with a great steal to generate that goal.
What an aggressive style of hockey RCTIC is playing. They obviously had a talk in between games here and losing that one early in overtime, and they wanted to come out with an answer, and have they ever. The forward check pops the puck out to Limbe in the high slot, and you know what RCTIC loves to do, and that's shoot the puck. They catch his Denkin a bit deep in his net, and that's a great goal. Exactly where Azastine put his to force overtime.
Think they found a weakness there, Tegan?
I'm not going to go that far there, Nick, but RCTIC just loves to shoot the puck. And, every time they get into your zone, and they're putting the puck on net, and that's got to be, nerve-wracking. So, the goaltender's maybe gripping his controller a little bit too tight, just needs to calm down and play his game, as we've seen how amazing Denkin can be.
As Prima gets a power play opportunity, first one of the game here after being down by 2 now. We'll see if they can answer with a shot there. Good save, uses Cisco. Slap shot of the round, but against the boards there. Good save by Dasplin to keep it in the zone. Gezit picks it up off the rebound. Off of a player, rather. As they force this one behind the net. Henka trying to build something for his team on this man advantage. Naiku's just going to bring it around. Dasplin tried to pick that up on the go, but it comes out to center. They'll have to start again with under a minute left on the power play opportunity. Azastine will take it instead, flip it out. Falls to Snoosit's stick. He'll send it back up the right side. Waiting for it there was Augezit, but it falls to Fadimas. Fadimas to Dasplin. Dasplin, Augezit, shot there, blocked in front. Good effort as time expires on this power play, so a good momentum upkeep here for RCTIC, who still leads by 2. 8 minutes gone in the first period. Up right side for Henka. Henka to Fadimas. Fadimas in front, back of the cage with a shot there from Augezit. I don't know what he was attempting there, but that shot didn't get through. Iryu. Up to layout shot, good save by Dankin. And finally cleared out for Henka.
They're still having a hard time getting into the zone, it seems, here, Nick. RCTIC just so aggressive here as they're going after every single forward check, really just slowing Prima down as they come into the zone. As there it is again, you see it on the left-hand side.
I think the aggression really does echo what you see in traditional hockey, where those shifts have to come and they have to be aggressive the entire time. It takes a mental focus to do that. And NHL esports, you're doing that for the entire game, not just a shift, Tegan. So I think it does take a little bit of discipline to maintain that aggression.
Yeah, and you have to come out and do it every single period, Nick, and that is hard to do as well, as we know the momentum in this game slows down in between periods, and you got to come out with that answer and just keep the pressure on. But a great first period here by Arctic.
Phenomenal job so far. We'll see how they respond to Prima. That one's banked around the boards. Coming up for it was Dasplin. He's got it quickly to Fadimas. Fadimas trying to bring that one around. He's going to have to go back and retrieve it. This time it will be Snoosit, who's trying to get that one up to the right side in Augeza, but that falls past him somehow. The slap shot comes in, but it bounces off of a player. Might have bounced off of Iryu, who's trying to steal it back and keep it in the zone. He can't. Penalty coming up here, though, on Prima again as an outstretched. Dankin keeps that one away, but they're going back on the penalty kill.
Yeah, so right back at it here, and Arctic going to try and make this a 3-0 game. I think they need to continue pouring this on here in the first period, Nick, and you know, get themselves situated in the biggest lead they can here, as Prima is so dangerous at scoring.
Prima scoring in a very surprising way, but it's worked so far. Got them their first game win as that shot comes in. Naiku. Dankin making that save. Fadimas flips it out. Giving chase here is going to be Hanka. Can he get there? No, he just missed it. So Hanka could not get that puck in time. I thought he was going to try to do something fancy with it. But nevertheless, 1 minute gone so far in this power play. So that's worked well for them so far. They're in the zone as Arctic. Still on the power play as that puck just careens off the boards and finds its way back out to center. Limbe will bring it back in. Up top now for Azastine. Couple of give and goes, trying to find some room. Layout's got an angle, but pulls off. He wheels that back down low for Naiku. Shot in, can't get through. Can't get the shot off, rather, as that puck comes all the way back out. And we're on to 5-on-5 or 6v6 hockey. Hope Drew's having a great time. Drew Goldfarb over in Las Vegas for the traditional All-Star weekend for the NHL.
Yeah, and a great weekend at that. We saw some amazing stuff there. Our boy Krill coming out and giving us the old grade 8 there in the skills comp. What an excitement that was.
1:19 left in the first period here. Save there by Dankin. As that 5-on-5, 6v6 line comes from my old colleague Goldfarb, who always made that reference when he started doing esports. He's like, is it 5-on-5 or is it 6v6? It's a weird question sometimes. So that's why we make the reference at least once per broadcast. And now we're filling you into behind the curtain stuff, but action's on the ice. Here we go. Fadimas trying to get that shot on net, and he just lost it for a brief moment. Final 5 seconds for Arctic to try to get one going. They're going to send one up to the right side here. You had it on his stick, but he couldn't pull the trigger. Nevertheless, 2 goals here scored by Arctic, and it's a 2-0 lead for them at the end of 1.
And Limbe tried to come around on that backhand. A little bit of a longer first period, Brandon, as we introduced a couple penalties into the mix here, but a great one for Arctic.
Yeah, a great period for Arctic. It's kind of similar to the first period of game 1, only this time Arctic really able to take advantage of the shots on net. And I know you guys mentioned the All-Star game. Well, it looked like Arctic was putting more shots on than Trevor Zegras had dodgeballs thrown at him during the breakaway competition. 9 shots on net in 1 period alone. That's more shots in this period than Prima, has shots in all of game 1, and just 5 less shots than Arctic had in all of game 1 as well. So they are really putting it on net and without any hesitation at all. This is the game that Arctic loves to play. We knew they like to put that puck on net as much as they can, only this time much more higher quality and high danger in this first period. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Period number 2 here, game number 2. Puck is dropped and play will continue. For Prima, they've got to get back into this one unless they want to give up an amazing overtime victory in game number 1 and bring this to a 1-1 tie. For Arctic, they want to tie it, force a game 3 at 1-1. Naiku's going to start this one along. Back skating through center. Trying to get that one past the defense in Prima, who's holding the blue line well so far, but not well enough to keep 2 out of the back of the net. For Arctic, as that shot rips in, Dankin plays it out. It's February. Why not? As the last time I think we said it was January, so that works out. Once a month we can say that. All right, great. As Prima banks that one along the boards up the right side. And will fall to RCTIC. Fadimus with a steal though on the forecheck. Great effort. And Houston Cisco keeps that at bay. Limbe down the right side. Heading on net, just throws it on for a rebound chance from a wraparound. Brilliant move there, and that's what they've been trying to do, get a little bit cheeky with it from behind the net here, Tegan.
Yeah, I spoke about that in game one where they like to do that little pass off the goaltender's pad, and it works out perfectly as it pops right back out to Limbe, and he almost had a wraparound chance. You saw it at the end of the period there, and now we're going to see a power play coming for Prima, and you don't want to give them these opportunities, Nick. You come back here, you put yourself in a best-of-3 series if you win this game. You definitely don't want to give up too early ones, and this could be the start here as Prima esport is going to get a chance in the power play.
I think Prima's
it's RCTIC.
Yeah, RCTIC gets the power play opportunity here, so this could be pouring it on more for them as the layout with the quick face-off play. But Prima sniffing that out early as a shot comes in, and that time, notice there, Dankin cheated early. We'll have to see if that comes into play as Dankin cheated to the left to make that save, and he was in perfect position, or this could have been 3-0. Limbe to Azastine. Back on the attack with another clapper in from the high slot area just above the hash marks. Good save by Dankin. As right now, the boys with the wood are clamping down on shots. Henka's trying to kill off the time here on this power play. Loose in front, second effort, Henka. Can't get that shot on cleanly. And RCTIC able to keep that one away from the back of their net, respectively. 11 minutes left here in the second period. RCTIC with a wraparound chance, second effort, rebound chance saved by Dankin. Dankin all over the ice right now as penalty time is expired. Making saves beautifully. Forecheck for RCTIC working. Iryu's got it. Bounces it off the backboard, trying to make something happen again, getting fancy, but Snoosit will take it out with speed. Henka, Snoosit. Snoosit sends it in down low. Who's going to pick it up? It's going to be Augustin with a chance there. Oh my goodness, how did he not bury that with a power play coming up for Prima?
Yeah, I just think he didn't expect it there, Nick. It popped right out onto his twig. It came from nowhere. Nobody would have expected that puck. He ended up skating it right past the net. And now RCTIC is going to be coming out and going on the PK here. So now we'll go back to everything I said before and replace it here.
That's right. We'll just replay that tape and we'll apply the storyline to this part.
Awesome.
Prima now on the power play. Snoosit's going to commandeer this thing from the backside of the attack, but not for long as Naiku just flips that one out all the way back down. 200 IQ, 200 feet. They start again. Prima from the right side, and they can't get the defense in sync there, so Dasplun will scoop that one up and pick it up on the give and go from Henka. Now up Augezin. Back to Dasplun, Henka, quick passes, Henka. Backhand chance for Houston Cisco, and he makes the save.
Great job by Houston Cisco to stop that play. I believe that Henkin there was trying to take it to his forehand, Nick, to get it around him, but Houston Cisco just swallowed it up.
Those quick passes can get a goalie moving a lot quickly, and sometimes that can cost you if you're not careful. He stayed with it there. Good move on Houston Cisco. Power play still continuing, though, as that one's waffle boarded up into the air. Pulled down by RCTIC. Naiku slowing things down on the PK. Penalty time now expires. They flipped it in, smartly doing so, and they're back to full strength.
Great penalty kill there by RCTIC, and they put themselves in a good scenario to win this game here, still being up 2.
Icing here, 5:57 remaining in the second period in this game number 2. Faceoff comes all the way down to the left of Dankin. 2 centermen draw at it, push win. Snoosit wins it, Limbe steals it. Right side for Dasplin. Dasplin finds a centering feed to Henka, but not for long. Limbe's got it back on the steal, spinning with the pass up top. Driving in, Azastine looking for the backhand chance on the wrap around. Dankin makes the save, and Azastine was coming in with a full head of steam.
That's just a massive difference from game 1 to game 2 is RCTIC has not taken their foot off the pedal. They forward check like crazy. They're not playing trap hockey, and it's very successful against this Prima team. Let's hope they continue to do this throughout the series. They'll put themselves in a good scenario.
As we're under 4 minutes here in the second period. Naiku for Limbe. Now up top layout with a slap shot in. That gets blocked by a couple of bodies. Henka will carry it out. Up Fadimus. Fadimus. He's got it for a couple of chances there. Just can't get past the defense in RCTIC, as they've been stamping out pretty much any offensive opportunity coming in, as that one fires in. Just goes wide of the net. Going all the way back to chase it down. Snooze it with under 1:15 to go. Second period winding down here. Snooze it trying to build some offense for his club. Gets it back. Banks it along the board, and we go offside.
Yeah, it's a good job by RCTIC. I just can't give them enough praise in this game. It's like a different team from game one. They switched up their game plan completely. And coming out after a loss, that does take a lot out of a hockey team. And they're doing just a fantastic job. I tip my cap to them here.
Definitely when you're in a series matchup here, one loss will kind of change your mindset. So they're doing a great job here. They're up by 2 at the end of 2 in game number 2.
One more period remaining. Brandon, is RCTIC going to keep going as hard as they have been here? Are they going to stop up and Prima going to take charge?
Oh, I think you gotta keep doing what you're doing here if you're RCTIC. 2 goals, not a huge margin here. We've seen a lot of things happen where teams can really start to get hot and get going, and Prima, as they showed in game 1, their team then kind of continued to get better as things go on. But RCTIC already more shots in the 2 periods alone than they had all in game 1. They are kind of continuing to do what we thought they would do on putting those shots on net, kind of emphasizing that time on attack, but they're doing it at a higher level. You said it, Tegan. This looks like a completely different quality of an RCTIC team than what we saw in game 1, not just on the offensive side, but the defensive side as well. They have been absolutely spectacular from really every phase of the game. If they can keep this up, they're going to be really hard to beat. But Prima, we know it's going to have a response.
A wake-up call needed for Prima if they want to get back into this one. But RCTIC well in the lead right now with a 2-0 lead here in the 3rd period as Prima's trying to get something going for their offense. Limbe's going to take it out. Layout's going to recover it. Limbe's got it again. Azastine, and RCTIC just slowing everything down right now.
Yeah, which is different from the first 2 periods, Nick, because they were super aggressive. Now they're maybe just kind of liking the slow game, as I say it a lot, but they've got about 17 miles till they got 6 miles.
Now that I understand the phrase, I appreciate it and respect it a lot more, Tegan, as we get offside here. And that might be safe as death. I think that's what Torts said best. Safe as death. So they can't be too cautious, too timid, too long.
Yeah, Torts also said some wild stuff recently. I'm not sure if we can agree with him too much anymore, but let's carry this one on here.
You're not wrong entirely. So I can see that point. As play continues here, 15:40 to go in the 3rd period, regulation period of game number 2. Layout from his end. Banks it along the boards, geometrically beautiful, but that one's taken away at the blue line by Snooze. He'll try to bank that one off the stick or skate of an RCTIC player and finds it back on the left side to test it out. Successfully, he'll do so. Henka from the right feeds that one into the middle, but that one's bumped out to the outside. Score lines are coming in here at the top of your screen and on the right hand of your screen thanks to Leaguegaming's dynamic stats system. We'll keep you updated as we proceed here. As we proceed to give you what you need as a shot comes in. Dankin with a save from a dangerous, high-scoring chance area keeps this one at a 2-goal deficit for his team.
That's a great save there. 12.5 minutes left, and he's got to be perfect from here on out. He needs his boys in Prima to come and get one, though.
See if Prima can win this faceoff. They don't. Limbe's got it on the offense. RCTIC just got to keep this thing down low. That shot bounces off of Henka. He'll scoop it from the boards. Right side, Fadimas. Fadimas chasing it all the way down. Try to maybe bump off or a slap shot. I don't know what happened there in the animation. So that'll come all the way back to his end. Prima's got it from behind the net. 2 men in front, though. Dangerous chance as Iryu's got it on his stick. One-time chance, glove save for Dankin.
What a save by Dankin. He continues to be perfect here in this period for Prima. They need to come out and give him a goal here, Nick.
They had Dasplin behind the net, and 2 RCTIC players took that one away. Could have been the telling story here if that goal went in. That slap shot it out to clear the zone. Iryu takes it back in. On the left side, it's stolen. Up to the right now. Fadimas finding his way up to Dasplin. Can't connect at the blue line. Henka Now Limbe's got it. Bringing it in down low. Behind the net to work from. Nobody in front of him with a layout with a good shot there. Saved by Dankin. He had all time to shoot that one. Great kick save. Again, to Tegan's point, has to be perfect, but Prima's not helping out their goalie right now.
Oh, they definitely aren't. Arctic has just been all in this hockey game. We'll get an icing here, but they have just been absolutely phenomenal and continue to do so. And with force, and more force here, Nick.
The force is strong with this one, I think. I think that's what they say.
I think so.
Face off to the right of Houston Cisco, one back by Arctic, who have been stellar on the dot so far this game. Here you through the middle. Coming back to the corner. Out with it is Fadimus. Layout kept it in. Good smart job by him. Layout, here you. Right side, chance in front, backhand, and Dakin again plays it out. Trying to get his team going here. Can't afford to take these face-offs if they're not winning them. Wrist shot in. Can't find its way to the net or to the goalie. Alguezid will take it from behind the net. They've got to get one in the next couple minutes here to have a chance to tie it. Henka, left circle. That shot he whiffed on. Finds its way to Alguezid. Center point, there's Snusit's shot from Dasplin off the iron there from Alguezid, and a second effort there. That puck flies into the sky, comes back down, and Snusit's got it. Throws it in down low. Minute 45 here in the third period. That slap shot gets blocked. Dasplin, the life from Prima, now is here, but is this enough? Right now in the late stages of the third period. Under a minute to play, real time, 60 seconds to conclude this one. Slap shot in front, bounces off of Alguezid. Oh my goodness, Dasplin had the back of the net open, and Alguezid finds his way in front of that puck as Dasplin's getting attacking here on the defensive side of the puck. Layout steals it. In front, one-time chance, he scores!
Yeah, Dasplin had to take that chance too, Nick. You saw him step up there. He didn't have a choice there for Primas. They're getting really, really low in this last minute, and that opens up the pass across, and no mistakes are going to be made when you have a guy backdoor wide open, and he's going to bang that one home. And I'm going to safe to say, Nick, that I think it's fair this one's going to Arctic.
I think you're right here. You weather the storm on the defensive side of the puck there like they did for as long as they did. And what ends up happening is that good things happen on the other side of the ice. We talk about it all the time. And that's what happened here with Arctic. As they got that insurance marker, they needed it at the right time. And Dankin could have been perfect as long as he was, but he can't avoid a 3-on-1 in front of his net. One of those pucks are going to go in the cage. They did there after a flurry of offensive chances from Arctic.
It's not only that, Nick. Look at this hockey team in Arctic. They are not stopping. They won this hockey game. There's 14 seconds left. They score another one. Backdoor. What a goal. And there is no chill for this Arctic team, whether it's cold or not.
Cold or not, you are right. And I think that's a statement goal. I think that's what that says, is it's sending a message to the other side. You may have beat me in game one. I'm not letting this happen again.
Yeah, it's just full force here from Arctic. I'm very, very impressed with how they played this game, Nick. They came out, and it just shows they're looking to do it next game. You know, when you come out and you finish off a game in the last 10 seconds playing like this, it's definitely showing Prima esport that they're going to come out strong here in the next one.
As that's going to do it, Arctic wins over Prima esports in game number 2 by a scoreline of 4-0. Shutout there for Houston. Cisco's got to feel real good.
Yeah, he's feeling amazing now coming out, especially after that first game L there. Brandon, you know, he's made a lot of great saves. He's standing up for his team, but a great job by Arctic to keep their foot in the gas.
Yeah, especially when Primo is starting to kind of push there in the middle of that third period. You kind of saw where they were really starting to get some chances. There were some big saves there made by the Arctic goalie in Houston Cisco. They needed those saves to keep it at that 2-0 scoreline. And after a while, you knew that Arctic was going to get back to that attacking play that they have been doing so well in the first 2 periods of this game. They got right back to it, scored not just once, but twice. And man, team, like you said, this Arctic team, nothing is enough for them. They just keep pushing and keep going. They do not stop no matter what the scoreline is. And they just kept playing that game. And that looked like a completely different team in game 1 that we saw in this game. And it all went to Arctic's benefit, getting a shutout, their first in the entire tournament, interestingly enough.
Yeah, first shutout in the entire tournament, and a good time to have one there after a loss and probably the most important series of the tournament here, Brandon.
Yeah, and they needed that game. It was going to be tough for them to go down 2-0 because you have to
Yeah.
remember, even though it's not a best of 3, it's best of 5. So you go down 2-0. That means you have to win 3 straight games to extend your season. That is a tough task to do. If you're any team and against any team, and Arctic making sure to avoid that. So now it's tied at 1-1. You go back to that best of 3 kind of format to where you win 2 games, you extend your season. In Arctic, they have got to feel good and having some momentum going for themselves after, well, it's kind of a rough game 1, game 2. Everything went their way from the way they played to some of the saves that Yusinsko made. They had just a great game overall. You gotta love the response from Arctic with how that game 1 really didn't go their way.
Right. Yeah, and like my old coach used to say, if we would have known we could have started here, Brando, is now we do have a best of 3 as Arctic comes back and turns it into one.
Yeah, in Arctic, you know how dangerous they are, and I think a key that we knew for them in this game would how would they be able to score and how much would they be able to score. They were 8-1 in the regular season in games where they scored 3 goals or more. They only scored 2 in game 1, and they scored 4 in game 2, so that 3-goal mark seems to kind of be that mark for them because inversely, they were 1-8 in games where they scored 2 goals or less. 9 if you include that game 1. So it seems if they can get to that 3-goal mark or eclipse that, their chances of winning are rather high. So for Prima, can you kind of stave them off from getting all of those shots, and can you make sure that those shots aren't high quality? I thought that was something they did a good job of in game 1, while in game 2, Arctic really kind of able to control the play, and some of the shots they had, a lot of them were rebounds and cross-crease plays. They didn't get any of those cross-creases in game 1, so it's going to be fun to see how Prima adjusts, because Arctic adjusted their play style a little bit in game 2 while not straying away from what works for them.
Yeah, the Arctic can't stop now, can they, Brandon? Is they have shown how to win hockey games, and at a very, very good point. They come out, they were full force, they were aggression in the offensive zone. Usually we see trap hockey in playoffs. They did that in game 1. Like you said, they only scored 2 goals. They're winning if they score 3 or more, so why not pour it on?
Yeah, and it's like we said at the beginning, it's just kind of the difference in those 2 play styles. While Prima likes to kind of be patient, not maybe pepper you with shots, but the shots they're going to take are going to be the highest of quality. Arctic says, well, if we have the puck, we're throwing it on net, and we're going to keep doing it too, because they did it in high fashion in that game, and they're even more so dangerous, not when they're putting those shots on net, but when the shots are high danger. You combine those 2 with a team like Arctic that puts the puck on net as much as they do, it becomes really hard for any goalie to really continue to make saves. And Dankin, despite the score, had a really solid game. He had some key saves. Otherwise, Arctic could have easily put 6 or 7 in the net in that game. Dankin did a good job, and that just unfortunately not enough goals on the other end, and Arctic just putting the shots on a little bit too much to keep up with it throughout. But nevertheless, if you're Arctic, gotta love what you did in that game too. You keep doing it if you can. Prima, I think now you kind of have to adjust, because while you didn't allow them to do what worked in game 1, in game 2, Arctic found a way to get to that. So I think if you're Prima, how do you respond? We know how these esports games and series can be all about who can make the right adjustments. Prima gonna have to respond here in game 3, is now less games kind of starting to come on, and you're in a situation where if you lose game 3, then it's your season on the line and you're back against the walls from that point on. So a big game 3 for both of these teams is going to be interesting to see how they both look. If Arctic can continue to do what they did in game 2, or if Prima can make that necessary adjustment to kind of get back to what worked for them in game 1 defensively.
And one of the best things we have is we know how these teams do in best of 3s. Yes. Arctic being 4 of 4 in their best of 3 series this season, with Prima being 3 of 5. So both of these teams very close rankings there.
Yeah, and you kind of notice it because we see the seedings in the playoffs. Arctic 14th, Prima 19th, and interestingly enough, Prima was the highest seeded 3 and 5 team. So that shows you, even if they have that record, they were still a quality side this season that played some tough teams and stayed in some games. They actually competed well with Ypyavaskala during what started their hot streak. So they're used to playing teams like Arctic that really know how to control that time of possession, or really do put the shots on net. They kind of are able to control games with their forward core and just putting them on. So it's going to going to be fun to see how Prima responds, because both of these teams, good sides, and honestly, in my opinion, this is probably the best that we have seen from both of them all season. It just happens that it's playoff hockey. They match up against one another. Now, after splitting 1-1, it's basically a best of 3 from here on out. This is a big game 3 to maybe take control of this series. Nick and Tegan, can't wait to hear you guys call it.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We will be running down here. Prima Esports going against RCTIC. Game number 3 here. Caps Gaming Showcase presented by Leidos.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. As always, amazing insight. Best of 5 here. It's 1-1 tied. Looking to force a competitive matchup here from Prima to see if they will respond after being quieted, hushed in game number 2. Face off here 1. Jerseys are white going north from Prima, black going south for RCTIC. Snooze it. Send it along for Fadimas. Fadimas to snooze it. Gets rocked off that puck. Limbe will take it back down with speed. Naiku's going to be checked up on that by Fadimas, and he'll come back to snooze it. A lot of action up the left side of the ice right now. Layout smartly keeps that in. He's done that a couple of times as that shot just hits off the back of the cage. Layout's been stellar, keeping the puck inside the zone here. Circling out to the high slot area, but that was denied. Fadimas will take it into the offensive end. Looking for a shot in. That's blocked in front. Fadimas will steal it. Left side, he's still got it. Snooze it. Shot in. Can't get through there either. Algazid from behind the net looking for a way in. And finally, RCTIC able to clear that pressure. Good effort by Prima Esports as that one was dangerous. Snooze it. Able to fight that one off and get it out of the zone. Coming back across center here. Left side for RCTIC. That's going to be a standing Algazid who just takes that one away and it exits the zone. Trickling past the blue line here. 7 gone so far here in the first period. A little bit of a feeling out process here, and a very different style of play as that shot comes in from the right side. Azastine from way downtown gets a shot on. Good save by Dankin.
Good job here by Prima as they're not really letting RCTIC full force them like they did in game 2, Nick. It's looking a lot better for Prima Esport.
Clamping down a little bit stronger than they did in game number 2 for sure, at least for right now. Spinning it up for Azastine was Limbe. Back in down low. Circling it around the outside of the scoring chance area. Looking for a way in. Naiku. That pass bounced off, and we have an injured player on the ice. We'll take a look at that one if we can figure out what happens, but he gets to the front of the net. Layout sends it in back down low. Stolen by Dasplun. Stolen back by Iryu. Iryu to Azastine. Right circle. Shot in. Rebound chance. Good save there by Dankin.
Great save by Dankin, and he needs to continue to do this for Prima. He needs to let Prima get themselves into the offensive zone, get a goal in, and get feeling themselves here before they give up another lead.
That was Branding letting us know that Iryu was the one injured. Shot in there, and that could have been a pass across, but the shot there ripped out of the sky by Dankin.
Dankin again showing Prima Esports, the players in front of him, that he can hold the door shut back here. They just need a goal.
Face off here. Won by RCTIC, but not for long as Prima tries to get this one out of the zone. They do. But they couldn't sustain any offensive pressure. Limbe's got it back on the attack. Azastine sidesteps one man, center point, layout, shot in. Oh, and it bounces off a couple of bodies. Second effort there was off the back of the cage. Those shots are coming in from at low angles. So far has not worked. Let's see if they keep that going here. Does RCTIC. Short side chance. That one's going to be smacked at and saved there by Yusin Cisco. Limbe, right side. Azastine, right point. Looking for a way in. Shot in, deflected through, and Dankin's going to hold on.
What a save by Dankin as he comes across. A little cheating there on the D2D, Nick, but it definitely works. He looks like he's on one right now.
Like a DJ Khaled song, he's on one. Shout out to Drake. Face off one by RCTIC. Shot in. Wow, didn't see it there, but smothered in his breadbasket was Dankin, and he's showing shades of what he did in game number 2 late stages.
And another one. They'll take that face-off over to the right-hand side, and Prima needs to get the puck out of their zone here.
Wrapped around the back of the net. Brought up and out of the zone. So offside here, and Prima finally able to clear the zone. Maybe a little bit of some breathing room for them. 3:05 left here in the first period.
Yeah, I was just going to say 5 minutes left here, and Prima did a good job in the first 5 minutes, but it's kind of turned around in Arctic, hasn't it, Nick?
Really has, and trying to see how this shakes out through the end of the first. It's a very different game than we've seen in both games 1 and 2 so far.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and Prima maybe did a good job shutting down Arctic for the first 5 minutes, like we said, but they really need to get the puck in the offensive zone, Nick, and get some shots here on Houston Cisco.
Good deke by Augezit through center, but they'll revert back to their end. Now that one's stolen from a great neutral zone forecheck. That trap was working. But now, a penalty coming up here on Arctic. So a power play opportunity developing here for Prima Esports. They need to get one right now.
And this is exactly what Dankin expected. He wanted to hold the door shut until Prima got a chance in the power play here. They definitely would love to score on this one, Nick.
5-on-4 hockey here for Prima, as that one's just chopped at and cleared the zone. Barring a goal, at least from Prima, will spend the rest of this first period with a power play as a laying down Dasplin from the check keeps that one in the zone smartly, whether intentional or not. Fadimus around the back. They got to get a shot on here. Snoosit looking to shoot it. He will. Doesn't get through, though. Good kneeling in front. Backhand chance. Oh, my goodness. Houston Cisco playing till the whistle. He did so there, and this game is tied at the end of 1.
It's a good thing he did play to the whistle there, Brandon, because that one was close.
Oh yeah, that was by far the best chance that Prima had all period long, and you and Nick kind of mentioned it. They really were playing well in the first 5 to 7 minutes of the first period, not really allowing Arctic to really just plow those shots, getting that time on attack. But man, oh man, it felt like the last half of that first period, Arctic right back where they left off in game 2. You see it on your screen there. 6 shots, 3:42 time on attack compared to the 1 shot and 57 seconds of time on attack for Prima. So this is a big chance on the power play for Prima to kind of even this up and get the first goal on the board. The fact that this is still 0-0, Prima cannot be mad at that at all. If the way Arctic was really able to establish their game, the way that game continued to go on in the first period, we'll see if they can get something in, because if they can get that first goal, could really change the momentum of this game and the way this game goes.
As the second period gets underway, thank you so much for watching. Twitch.tv/Capitals. Welcome our first-time chatters in the chat box. Chance here. Dankin's just going to play it out. Wow. Didn't expect that. Play will continue as Nick DeMeo, F5 Penguin, Tegan Blair, it's King Lyman, Brandon Bigsby, bMaJuH alongside with you for the call for the entire Caps Gaming Showcase. Presented to you by Leidos, powered by Leaguegaming. All the way around, a pseudo Omaha as Dankin gets in the way smartly of the would-be attacker. I think that was Iryu coming down the way. What a brilliant move, Tegan.
I think that deserves 300 IQ as he comes down and does a great bump there. You know, Arctic probably could have came around the net there and passed that one out front. Great job by the goaltender to get in the way of the player.
Using the game to their advantage, knowing that NHL 22 does not give like a goalie interference kind of thing for that. Hey, just getting in the way. Smart to do on those Omaha plays, even if they're not intentional.
Right.
Azastine, as they rebound from what happened there, they move this along. Fadimus, left side stick checked and stick lifted for layout. Falls to Snoosit. Snoosit with a quick lane for Augezit to kind of flick through there. He wasn't able to get past the entirety of the defense in Arctic Gaming. As play is kind of slowed down here in game number 3, as we don't see the same, I guess the word is urgency, Tegan, that we saw with Arctic in game 2.
Yeah, it definitely was massive, a sense of urgency, and I think we're feeling it a bit from Prima. Prima doesn't usually take that shot. Maybe they'll make that pass from the left-hand side to put a good shot on, get a good scoring chance.
As Brandon says, shots on net, never a bad thing. We'll see what they do here. Prima with a chance, one-time effort for Azastina to take that one away, rightfully to do so. And a brilliant hockey defensive move as we go offside, 10:51 here in the second period.
That was a gorgeous play coming in there by that Arctic player on the left-hand side. It was offside, but he would have had a clear-cut lane to the net there, look, Nick.
Just a hair off, as that pass couldn't connect in time. Up the right side for Limbe. Limbe fighting for it from the bench area of his club. Trying to get this one in. Now Iryu tried. Limbe, good steal. Up for Iryu. Tried the backhand chance and a good defensive effort by Daspoon. Back into his position now. Henke just blocks that one down. Self-chips it to himself. And trying to slip that one past the defense is Fadimus. Up behind the net.
That was a little bit of a nerve-wracking pass behind the net. I think he tried to cycle that to his D-to-D, but the forward was back there for Prima, Nick. A little surprise for him.
Forward was back there, and sometimes those routine plays that are then not routine kind of throw you off your game. And I think that's what teams that are really good do so well, is they don't do what you expect them to do, what that normal flow is. And I know we've talked about it, but come playoff time, that's pivotal.
You're absolutely right. It's massive, massive plays, and it was just a little bit of a sneaky play. He was behind the camera and almost ended up working out, and then Arctic close on Dankin, Nick.
Dankin's just standing tall right now, and I got to tip my hat to him because he's been tested early and often here, especially in the end of Game 2 and then into Game 3.
He's been very, very good here.
Face off to layout, that quick face-off play, again snuffed out by Fadimus. He's done that 3 times in this series so far, looking to keep his team in this contest. See what he can do to shake this one out. As we get a penalty coming up here, wrecked from behind. Looks like a charging, but no, a trip will be called, and Arctic goes on the power play.
Yeah, you could have had either way. If you would have hit him, it would have been right in the numbers there, Nick, but it was a trip. He goes into the boards, and we're going to see a power play here as Arctic looks to put one in and maybe continue the streak of aggressiveness into the second and third period.
See if the aggression continues, as that slap shot clear does not clear the zone. Kept in by layout. They're working it in, trying to get this one out of the zone. They finally will in a weird trickle-about way. But Iryu will just bring it back in, but not for long. Another penalty coming up here. Layout. Iryu coming in from being tripped, and it's touched on. A 5-on-3 has developed for Arctic. Their chance to get ahead here in this game.
Well, now it's a really good opportunity to keep the pressure on, isn't it, Nick? Is if they get one quickly here, they're still going to leave themselves with lots of time here in the power play, and that's what most teams will try and do in the 5-on-3. Get one in quickly so they can still capitalize. Got
to push here if you're Arctic. Got to be disciplined and straight here if you're Prima. Good face-off win there, and another way to sniff out that one, that time by Snoosit. Getting in the lane from that face-off drawn-up play, Tegan.
Yeah, you do have Snooset out there. You do have Fadimus, who Fadimus have stopped 3 face-off plays. You see Snooset with a big block for a 4th face-off play. Great job here by Prima.
Those are some surefire goals that are just being shut down here smartly by Prima, despite their efforts in game number 2. Looking great so far in game number 3, as one penalty expires, 45 seconds on the other. 5-on-4 hockey for Arctic. That falls to Augezit. Augezit just flips it out of the zone. And Azastina goes back to give chase. Last rush effort up the ice here on this power play. This extended man advantage for Team Arctic Gaming. Penalty time will expire as maybe one shot on net during that entire time for Arctic. So a momentum boost here for Prima. Stick checks and stick lifts lead that to Iryu. Iryu sends it around. Gonna get that one back on the reversal, but snuffed out there by Prima. Prima for Henka. Henka's going to go chase that down, chopped out, but it didn't find a Prima stick. It found an Arctic stick, and a charging Iryu was denied on that would-be Omaha attempt. He's got it now, but Henka's taking it back out of the zone. And finally, offside. Just a couple of seconds left here in the second period, and a weird game that we're watching so far.
Yeah, the first game was, all Prima. Second game, all Arctic. And, this game, I don't think either team can decide who wants it here, Nick. We're going to get into the third period here, and it is going to be a one-period show.
That shot was dangerous. Good kick save by Dankin to conclude the second period as we go into the locker room, still tied at 0.
And this has been a fantastic hockey game. No one can really get their bearings though, Brandon. What do you think?
Oh yeah, this is one of those games where it's really gonna come down to the first goal, I think. That could really make a difference in who wins this one. But Tegan, like you alluded to, it's kind of like no one really knows who wants to win this one. In game 1, the story was how Prima was really locking it down from the neutral zone end after the first period, where it felt like RCTIC was getting things going. Prima was able to adjust and lock down that neutral zone to not allow RCTIC to get a lot of those high-end opportunities, those flurries of opportunities that they do so well, while in game 2 it was kind of the contrasting. RCTIC, 19 shots, they capitalized on a ton of them, and their shots were more high danger than they were in game 1. Now in game 3, it's all about the defense and goaltending. They're showing their stuff. Gonna come down to mistakes and who can score the first goal. Gonna be fun to watch this third.
Third period, next goal might win it for sure. As we've seen a little bit of a quiet first and second periods of game number 3 in this best of 5, as things look a little bit different for both clubs. Let's see who pulls it together. Twitch.tv/Capitals. Welcome to our first time viewers as a shot comes in. Dankin standing tall again. And if Prima can pull this one out, Tegan, I think he's player of the game.
Yeah, either that, you know, it's going to be interesting to see though, Nick, because it could go either way depending on who scores.
Absolutely, as play continues here. Slap shot of the round. The Omaha's there for Henka with a shot. Could not get it on his stick. Great defense by RCTIC. And it holds on there by Houston Cisco.
Yeah, I wonder about that play there, Nick. That's a lost chance by Prima. Why he went over to the side that the defender and his teammate is on is beyond me. Maybe trying to get a shot on there might be a better idea in a 0-0 hockey game.
Even if you try to force that one in, that's probably a better play. I know the fear is you don't want to give up that 2-on-1, just picking it off with a simple pass, but man, this is playoffs, and you really got to bring that together. It's a dangerous pass back for Snooset. Almost fell to the pads of Dankin, as I'm sure he doesn't want to save shots from both his opponent team and his own team as we come 2-on-2 down the lane here. Right side, half board area. Limbe shot just all the way in for the breadbasket of Dankin.
A great save there by Dankin, holding on, and he has just been absolutely lights out, shutting down this RCTIC team almost single-handedly. He needs Prima to come out and get one.
Face-off one, layout with a shot there. Deflected to the right side by Dankin. Thwacked at it and whiffled out of the way by the defense in Dasplund. 12 minutes left here in the third period, regulation hockey. All the way in for Iryu. Iryu with a wrist shot looking for that rebound chance with a crashing right side, but couldn't fall to the stick of an RCTIC player. Naiku goes 3 wide down the left side of your screen. Looking to bring this one to center. Left point, was waiting for it, but he pulled off. Now behind the net. Maybe looking for the Michigan there. I thought I saw the deke go on. Shot there blocked. As Henka finally able to clear the zone. They get tied up, but he's got it. Oh, no, he missed that one. I thought that was going to connect to Henka on the rushing attack through the zone. So we're offside. 8:37 to go here in the third period.
Yeah, we did see a little bit of excitement last week with a couple Michigan efforts, but in this 0-0 hockey game, I don't know if the boys would be cursing at you for trying that one behind the net now.
Only if it works, then they won't, right? So as a steal here, Limbe. Good poke check there by Snooset. As that could have been a cataclysmic effort there for RCTIC Gaming. Scores coming in. Arebro Hockey, reality check. Arebro leads 1-0 in their best of 5 series in these playoffs. Sauced up, intended for Augezit. That's shut down. And here comes the left side for RCTIC Gaming once more. They start from the left a lot, and it seems to be just trying to get everybody drawn on one side. But Dasplin for right now trying to go to work for his team. Fadimus down for Henka. Henka looking to find his man in front of the net. It's going to be dropped off for Snooset. Snooset shot in, deflected, looking for a lane kick at the shot off the back of the net. Fadimus send it in back down low. That's denied. Base got it, and he clears the zone. Layout keeps it onside. Now it's forced in from the right. Limbe pushed off the puck. Gonna wrap around the boards, fall to Fadimas. Back in down. Oh, man, and that just somehow caroms off of Snoosit, who fell down on the ice, and Dankin's got to pick that one up.
Yeah, Dankin has just been absolutely amazing for Prima here in this hockey game. They definitely owe him one here, Nick, and they'd probably be happy to get one, but not if Arctic has anything to say about it, as they've been great here in this third.
Whole round of beers need to go to Dankin at the end of this one. Kept his team in the game so far. Snoosit down low. Wraps around and scores! Snoosit brings it in down low for the first time in the series and just sneaks it in 5-hole.
Like we were just saying, they didn't want to buy the beers there, Nick. They come down, and it's gonna be Snoosit, the man who has not been below the hash marks, Nick. He comes down, he comes around, and we've seen multiple wraparounds done by Arctic where, Dankin's made the save. Maybe Dankin's spent so much time with Snoosit in front of him, he said, hey, try one of these wraps. I don't know if Houston Cisco can hold that post, and he goes 5-hole. What a goal there by Prima, Nick.
Snoosit said, I got a ham and a turkey. Which wrap do you want? I'm going with turkey, and I'm burying this thing 5-hole. My goodness, what an effort by them as a timeout taken here by what it looked like Arctic, if I'm not mistaken. As they synchronize back up here. Great goal for the go-ahead with just over 100 seconds left in regulation. Will we see overtime again, or will Prima sneak this one out 1-0? That one's chipped along. Flipped out of the zone from center into the defensive end for Arctic. Naiku's going to try it from the left side. Finding his way to the slot area. Slips through a couple of defenders. But it was picked up by Prima and out of the zone. Penalty coming up here. This one's going to be on Arctic.
And just like this, Prima might be able to slow things down here, Nick, and walk themselves out with a W, as they just need to watch those Omaha plays, as we know how dangerous those can be on the PK.
Especially with no icing, it definitely lends its ability to be more effective because you can take those chances and clear the zone as they do. See what happens here. Face off, Arctic's going to pick it up. Azastina is going to force the issue. Limbe, Iryu slips through. Good effort there by Iryu to just find his way to the middle, but it was shut down by Prima. Up along the boards, two men there. Who's going to come out with it? Augezin just carries it along, clears the blue line, 3 wide, 3-on-1. Wrist shot saved there by Houston Cisco, keeping his team in the game for right now, but they're going to go in down low and just kill off some time smartly. There's a good play, but Naiku stealing that one and sniffing it out, pulling the extra man now. 5-on-5 with an open net here for Arctic. 10 seconds left. Behind the net, Iryu. Iryu left side. Feeding it in the middle. Shut down. 5 seconds. Behind the net. Limbe. Shot. Rebound. And a good way by Snoosit to send it out all the way down the net. And that's going to do it as that puck was trickling into the back of Arctic's neck. Time expires and Prima wins game 3, 1-0.
So is that back-to-back shutouts there for Dankin, as he has been playing absolutely phenomenal in game 2 and 3, giving his team a chance to win, and you see him here, Brandon, and being obviously the first star.
Yeah, I don't think it takes much debate to say who the first star of that game is. We said in game 2, despite the loss, Dankin was playing really well in that game. Well, they kind of shore up a little bit in front of them defensively. They finally are able to break one through offensively. And how about Prima, maybe the underdog in this series, being the 19 seed? They're up 2-1, and they are just one game away from moving on to round 2. And in that game 3, it was on the back of their goaltender between the pipes in Dankin. What a game there, and a big game for Prima. Arctic getting shut out is not something that you see often, so a great job from Prima to finally being able to break through and to get themselves that big win. That was huge for Prima to win that. We'll see if they can continue that on in game 4. Dankin really kind of being the one to sure that win for them, to say the least, but man, that is really encouraging if you're Prima.
Yeah, it definitely is, Brandon, and a great game by Dank, and we can't take anything away from this man. He comes out in game 2, he puts out a shutout in that game. He's had 6 perfect periods of hockey, and if he continues to play like this, it doesn't really matter who's in front of him or who's against him. This man is in the zone.
Yeah, there's nothing scarier for an offense than a hot goalie, especially when you're a team like RCTIC that really values putting shots on net the way that they do, because the thing is that not all your shots are going to be that high quality, so you kind of continue to feed the beast in a sense of Dakin. You keep putting those shots on, he keeps making those saves, that confidence continues to rise a little bit, and you saw the more the game went on, the more Dakin really started to feel it, and the bigger the saves got for him. He undisputedly is the first star of that game, and honestly, he's the reason, at least in my opinion, that they are in this position. They were really close to having that 4-0 loss be a little bit higher than that if Dankin didn't make some of the saves he did in that game. He's been really just spectacular, which has gotten kind of lost with a lot that we've seen in this game, but the goalie's the star of the show because you cannot slight Houston Cisco either. He was great on the other side, but we said it.
Yeah.
First goal was arguably going to win it. It did in that case with about 2:39 to go, and great job from Prima. We'll see if they can do it again, but man, up 2-1. I don't think many people saw this coming against this RCTIC team.
Yeah, and we also saw, which Nick alluded to in that last game, that RCTIC has really enjoyed bringing the puck in on Snooset's side. They've really been avoiding Dasplin. What do you think the reason is behind that, Brandon?
I think a lot of that just kind of has to do with the way they play. We saw RCTIC to do that against Granite a bit as well, but obviously when you have a defenseman like Dasplin, it kind of makes you think a little bit like, well, it would maybe be a good benefit to go on the other side and avoid him, not to disrespect his defensive partner in Snooset, because he's made some good defensive plays for this team in this game. You have called his name multiple times for just being there on a poke check, being there in position to break up a few plays, and both defensemen in Prima and Snooset, or excuse me, for Prima, Snooset and Dasplin have been great back there. A goalie as good as Dankin has been, a goalie is only so much without a good defensive pair in front of him to kind of mitigate some of the quality of chances that your tender sees behind you. So as great as Dankin has been, you kind of have to give a little bit of that credit to the 2 D-men in front of him. And in terms of that breakout, I think a lot of that is just how RCTIC likes to play. They kind of like to go on that strong side, make you commit on one end, maybe open things up on the other side to get that cross-side pass, and never know what can happen from that. But Prima's just done a good job of shutting that down through 2 of these 3 games. We'll see if they can continue to do that, because RCTIC a hard team to kind of stave off for a consistent amount of time. But if they can play the way they did defensively, as well as Dankin making the saves that he did in Game 3, Prima might be seeing themselves go on the round 2. But you know this RCTIC team, they are great at responding. They are great at being able to pour shots on. You figure one of them will fall eventually. We'll see if they can do it, because now their back's against the walls and their season is on the line.
This is a best of 5, and now Prima is leading the charge 2-1. It wasn't a forward goal to get themselves through. It was going to be Snooset who came down for Prima Esports and had that amazing wraparound. Brandon, thank you so much for all your insight. It is always amazing, and we're going to see if Dankin can continue a 3 streak. How many shutout periods is this man gonna have? This is gonna be great hockey as we move into the Caps Gaming Showcase presented by Leidos. Here I am, it's King Lime, he is Brandon Bigsby, and we are gonna jump down to our man behind the mic, Nick DeMeo, F5 Penguin. Game number 4, take it away, Nick.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate it the entire way. Always good insight. Best in the business here. And as some might say on Twitter, CM Punk GIF. Game number 4. As we see Prima sneak out 2 different games here and take away a really good win for, out of Game 3 between these 2 clubs. So as the teams sync up here, remind you, twitch.tv/capitals. As you can join us and chat along for this Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos, powered by Leaguegaming. Face-off 1, back by Prima. sent along. Here we are, Fadimas. Now Henka, shot, rebound chance in front, and Augezit trying to get one going off the rebound. So this will come back out to center for a face-off.
Yeah, good job here by RCTIC to get the puck into the zone and get to work.
Down behind the net for RCTIC here as Limbe to Azastine. He loses the puck. That's going to be poked out. They'll have to come back to center to retreat. Layout now. Azastine, the 2D working at it as they try to get the offense back and going here as they were blanked in game number 3 after winning 4-0 in game number 2. A tale of 2 different games now. Wrist shot, slap shot coming in rather on the one-timer D-to-D shot. Just stretching out that leg there was Houston Cisco.
Yeah, both these goalies playing fantastic. My mistake there on the double shutout, I was corrected there. That was Houston Cisco in game 2.
Houston Cisco in game 2, and a battle of goalies here as game number 3 goes to Dankin Tegan, and there's one that bounced off the post and is scooped up. A lot of weird shots coming in. Houston Cisco's having to really work to make these saves.
Yeah, he definitely has, and both goalies are, it is going to be a goalie battle in this one, that is for sure, Nick.
See what happens here as we'll have a playoff update for you at the next stoppage here as our very good friend Brandon brings us more and more insight. Right side, Augezit finally gets it out of the zone. That's sent up. Oh, good feed up for Fadimas. Fadimas, backhand chance. He's leveled in front of the goal mouth. Henka's got it recovered on his stick. Out to the right side. Daspoon's shot there just deflected to the left side. Fadimas bumped off the puck. Snusset will pick it up and retrieve it. Fadimas. Susnit. Shot there blocked. Good kneel down in front. As Prima starting to buzz now. Looking to win this one in 4. Augezit to Henka. And that's picked off by Limbe. Fadimas trying to keep it in the zone, not for long, as Layout will send it along for Nyko on the left side. Stops up back at the cage. Trying to get it back up top all the way to Layout. That'll miss, and it'll come back out to their defensive end. Good effort, Tegan, by Prima in that little last couple of minutes.
Yeah, Prima doing a good job being forceful here, not really letting them into the zone and getting a little bit of offense as well.
Feels as if the aggression has kind of turned the tide here and now favors the jerseys in black, as it favored RCTIC in game number 2. Outstretched stick picked up by Snusset. Snusset beats off 2 would-be defenders and gets it out to center. Iryu snuffed that out. And Limbe will send it up for Iryu now. 4-on-3 developing here. That wrist shot kind of bounces off maybe the face of Snusset, and another banked pass out for Layout. They can't connect again. That's 2 in a row here that they can't find Layout where he's supposed to be. Naiku, Layout, left side. Snusset just finds that one to his stick, so not a lot of effort for him, and chasing this one down will be Augezit. He's got there first, and that's going to be dropped out for Dasplin. Dasplin to Snusset, off the tip, and he scores! I think that bounced off a defensive player, so it's 1-0 for Prima Esports from the goal by Snusset.
Yeah, great job. D-to-D pass. I believe that did bank off a defender in front. It goes past the goaltender, and that's really all you can do to get goals on these goaltenders here, as Houston Cisco's been so good, but that one finds the net.
That's Snusset's second goal of the playoffs here after he scored in the wraparound from game number 3. So what a great effort there. He can score from the behind the net, behind the hash marks, Tegan, and then also from his home at the left point.
Yeah, and goals from the back end is what you need, and very good to see as we see a poke check here.
Poke check there. Defeated easily, but that's a dangerous chance in the high slot area from Augezit. Augezit trying to get active here. So he slips by a defender. Good effort here. Feeding that one over to Fadimas, and he falls short. Misplaced pass there. Could have been saucered instead of the regular pass. So Augezit doesn't connect there. And now a power play coming up for RCTIC with a chance to tie.
And with their backs against the walls is exactly what they need here to try and get A quick power play goal, get them back even so they can try and get ahead here, but not if Prima has anything to say about it.
Face off here, stepped in and won by Prima. They go on the penalty kill for the first time in this game. Have 2 playoff updates for you shortly as Limpe with a backhand chance, but he can't get all on it. Couldn't get everything on that chance there, and that one was a dangerous opportunity for them. Their best of the game so far. 5 seconds remaining here. Naiku to layout. Layout, wrist shot there. As the time expires, the buzzer sounds. And 1-0 your scoreline for Prima as they lead right here in the Caps Gaming Showcase EU Division, game number 4.
Couple of periods, these guys are going to be pretty happy here, Brandon, and I know you got some good updates to fill us in on as well.
Yeah, Tegan, we're seeing our first Game 5 YMCA Esports and Dynastia in a Game 5 after YMCA Esports were up 2-0 in that series. Dynastia comes back, wins 2 straight, and pushes it to the one deciding game. We're also on a potential upset alert. Hotbox, they were the 26th seed, playing Tunnel Vision at the 7th seed. Hotbox, 2 series wins. It's only game 3 and game 4 in right now, but that could also potentially be a game 5. So Tunnel Vision, the 7th seed against the 26th seed, on upset alert there. But how about Prima here in our action in front of our screen? They are kind of playing the Arctic game, having more shots in time on attack. 5 to Arctic's 1. Really uncharacteristic for Arctic. They are going to have to get things going. Their season on the line. They have 2 periods to do it. We'll see if they can.
Second period of game number 4. As Arctic here loses an effort there as they tried to clear the zone. Somehow that fell to the stick of the man there. And another goal here. It's 2-0 for Prima as they score one on the shorthand.
2-0 here for Prima, and that is not what Arctic was expecting, was it, Nick? As they wanted to come out and even this thing up. They've only got 1 shot here in the hockey game. Prima with 8, and at this point, it is their game to lose. They just need to keep this up.
They got to keep this up here. As did that goal come in from Snoosit again? I missed it at the last second there, but man, what an effort.
What an effort is right as they come down and just full force here from Prima. And maybe they took a little bit out of Arctic's playbook in game number 2 because it seems to be working here in game number 4.
Yeah, it's working 2 back-to-back here. They were able to edge out a game 3 victory. 1-0 and now 2 here. So that was not Snoosit. Sorry, that was Augezid getting his first goal of the playoff series here. So that's nice to see as well. Play continues here. Another penalty coming up, though. The extra man coming out for Arctic. As that's touched up by a Prima esports player that was Snoosit, I believe. So another trip and another power play for Arctic Gaming.
Maybe that just means another goal for Prima. Hopefully not, as Arctic going to look to come back down and get some aggressiveness in their end. But Prima maybe looking to go shorthanded again here. Who knows, Nick?
Yeah, they're going to go shorthanded for another 2 minutes on that tripping penalty. 0 for 1 tonight, 0 shots so far for Arctic, as we saw that last power play resulted in a shorthanded goal. 2 of them now for this series. As Fadimus, short little step there, almost had the breakaway. Azastina able to track him down. Layout, oh, and that was not what they wanted there, as Layout was trying to throw it up top into somebody that was supposed to cover his position, and he couldn't do so. Naiku will break it out for his team. Naiku, that's one's to lay out, but that's Fadimus taking it away on the breakaway here. Can he get a step on him? No, good defense there by Azastine. He's tracked him down 2nd time in a row there off of Fadimus, trying to eyeball where that left winger's going to go. Sent along
Job by Arctic to move the puck out of the zone there. D-to-D breakout, but it wasn't really able to connect there on the power play.
Power play time does expire. 0 for 2. No shots. There's a shot, though. And that one trickled just past the goalie and the mouth of the goal. Would a would-be rebounder been there as a kick save comes out. Dankin able to stand in the way of that one, trying to get his team this victory here and win this series in 4 games. Hankin, oh my goodness! Hanka pulls up short and rips that one short side, and a beauty of a goal from the centerman from Prima, and it's 3-0.
What a goal. That's the nicest goal of the playoffs so far, as Hanka comes in with a little L skate move to draw the defenders in and absolutely snipes that one home.
What a beauty of a goal there by the centerman for Prima. First goal all tournament for Hanka, as he stands tall here in the opening round of the playoffs for this Caps Gaming showcase. And now things look very different, Tegan. Kind of the same thing we saw in Game 2, but reversed. Now Prima in the driver's seat with the aggression in Game 4.
Yeah, and like I said, they took a little bit out of the playbook of RCTIC's Game 2 that I didn't give them enough credit for, obviously. But, you know, a great job here by Prima to take a page there.
Prima sitting in the driver's seat now as they got to hold strong here. As we know, RCTIC can score early and quickly. See if they can rebound from a 3-goal deficit here in the middle of the second period of game number 4. Limbe trying to go to work here. Shot there, kick save Dankin. Fought behind the net there. And Hanka with that go-ahead goal to give them a 3-goal lead. Coming just minutes ago as that slap shot got through. Dankin able to see it the whole way. Azastine trying to feed that one over to his D-man. Poke check free. He's got it back on his stick. Alguezin tried to snag that one to his intended teammate in Padimis, but unfortunately it will go all the way down for an icing.
So we're halfway through a hockey game here, Nick. Lots of time here for RCTIC to come back. They just need to turn it up like they know they can do. Sit down, talk about this one, and regroup here, because they're just not playing their hockey.
Not playing their hockey. They got to get it back together, and they're having just enough time to do so if they can get something going here in the closing stages, the second half of the second period. That slap shot can't get through. Not a lot on a backhand chance by Hanka, though. Good save by Yusin Cisco as Dasplin steps in and just levels Limbe on the left side as the play goes offside here. 6:56 to go in the second.
Yeah, I think that's the definition why they don't come out Dasplin's side. You were wondering why they're going out with Snoosit's side. Maybe they get a little easier entry as Dasplin likes to let them know.
Power play coming up here. RCTIC going back on the extra man advantage here, and this is a huge opportunity for them to get back into the game.
Yeah, massive opportunity at that, and this is what we said, getting back to their hockey game. They're already in the zone, so see if they can build something here on this draw.
Trying to flip that one out. Iryu keeps it in the zone. Just gets in the way of that one. A kneel down Snoosit. No shot there. Layout. Thinking better of that one. Driving in down low. Azastine comes back up top. Azastine, right circle. Center point layout. Oh, Fadimas with a good steal again. Fadimas all over the ice right now, trying to keep this one away from RCTIC. Tried to windmill dangle that one past the defense.
Yeah, I'm impressed. The 80s called. They wanted that deke back, but it almost worked. It was impressive.
Anything to kill time, though, is probably what he's going to say, as Alguezin just kind of picks that one up, takes it down into his end, and throws it back deep. Just keeping the team away from the offensive end for now.
Yeah, great hockey, and there you see them come in on Dasplin's side. Again, it does not work, and Prima's just playing textbook stuff as here they come.
Shorthanded chance denied, and that killed off the entire penalty, Tegan.
Yeah, it's just absolutely textbook hockey by Prima right now. Both sides of the ice, the defense are working well. You've got Dankin making great saves, but here's a turnaround.
A turnover was dangerous, but again, the defense going to work there with Dasplin, as you mentioned, the star behind the forwards for Prima, which has really worked to kind of rally their team back to some semblance of order here after falling game 2 4-0.
Yeah, and you know, what an answer that is I had mistaken that in between the break, and I apologize for that one, but what an answer by Prima to come out in that game and get a W and then continue it along in this one.
Yeah, and Tegan, here, this is something you can't do, though, if you are Prima. I mean, you can give up a penalty here and there, but this is the 4th in a row now for Arctic to try to score one. Face-off comes to the right of Dankin. Push win. Won by Arctic. Dasplin trying to clear it. Snoosit trying to clear it. He does, so it goes offside. And this is not looking good. Prima's got to really clamp down here discipline-wise while on full strength.
Yeah, you know, they do. And Arctic needs to really just get these shots on. They've been very, very aggressive with the shots. They haven't done that this period, and they need to change that if they expect to win.
Slap shot pass up for Ogezid, and then he draws the penalty. So a slashing penalty. We'll have a 4-on-4 hockey game here.
4-on-4, lots of ice out there, and this might work to Arctic's favor.
They do like to play fast and get the puck up the ice quickly. See if they can connect on a slap pass or an Omaha here or something that gets a 2-line pass. Remember the 2-line pass they took away? Travesty back in the 90s. Good feed in front there, deflected wide. As Arctic finally able to recover, slow things down. Limbe in deep, up by Dasplin. Dasplin just picks that up, scoops it along, flips it out. Fadimas clears it. 5 seconds left on this period here in the second period. Looking to get a shot on, blocked there. Second effort, kick save there by Dankin at the buzzer. And he keeps this game at a 3-0 lead as they go into the locker room. One more period for Prima Esports to move on in the Caps Gaming Showcase.
We keep seeing goals like that from Henka, and we keep seeing saves like that from Dankin. It is going to be an interesting third period here, Brandon.
Yeah, Tegan, and while Dankin kind of continuing what we saw from him in Game 3 and a little bit in Game 2 as well, it feels like Prima went in before this game, went into controller select and switched sides with Arctic 13 shots in this one game alone. That is by far than any that they had in games 1, 2, or 3, while Arctic, on the other hand, kind of the ones with their backs against the walls, not really able to give themselves opportunities. And you kind of felt that with the way they played in Game 2, like, man, okay, Arctic getting things going, they find ways to get the puck on net and get quality opportunities when they shoot the puck. But man, oh man, with the way Dankin has played in net and the way that Dasplin and Sunset have really done a good job on the defensive end. Prima, great hockey so far. Can they do it for 20 more minutes?
Snoosit definitely playing some sunset hockey out there, Brandon, as he's shutting down everything and closing the light at the end of the tunnel for Arctic Gaming, as we had an icing early on with this 4-on-4. Playoff updates, Brandon. We do have some, though.
Yeah, Hookered and Tahorted going to a Game 5, so our second Game 5 right there, and YMCA wins their Game 5 versus Dynastia 1-0, so they will be moving on to round 2.
This play continues here. Moved along for Henka. Henka, Fadimas looking for that shot. Good stick work there by the defense in Arctic. This is Nike who tries to get a shot on. Henka blocks it. Breakaway here. Oh, Gezit got a leg on him. Diving poke check there by Yusin Cisco. What a great move there. Henka couldn't get that shot off the rebound as the puck was loose. Snoosit trying to keep it in the zone. He will, but not for long. Cleared out by Limbe. Limbe over the line. In front for Iryu. Can't get that shot away. Lots of block shots, Tegan, through this entire series so far.
Yeah. And on both sides, and it's funny to see when your goaltenders are as good as these two have been, you don't really need to block shots, but both of these teams getting in the way no matter what.
Getting in those shot lanes, getting those passing lanes, key to winning these games, especially as we get into playoff hockey mode. Is it October yet? No, but it's February, as that wraparound chance was denied here, and February means playoff hockey for NHL Esports.
Yeah, and there's nothing better than playoff hockey for NHL Esports. And if Prima continues their streak here, they are leading this best-of-5 series 2-1. It could be over after this, and this Arctic comes back.
Best of 5, sorry. Trying to win 3 games. And Prima's trying to do that now. 14 minutes stand between them and moving on to the next round. Will we see some late-game heroics by Arctic? Time will tell in just mere moments. Layout. Centered through. Can't connect. Fadimus trying to clear it his zone. He can't get there. Neutral zone play afoot right now between these two clubs as we got another icing and leveled there after the play. Dasplund not taking lightly to that was Snoozit.
Yeah, he must have whispered in his ear, do you remember that overtime goal from game 1? Because that was a huge hit.
Yeah. So we got a face-off here, offensive zone for Prima. Slap shot coming in, not a lot on it, so it was blocked before it made its way to the net. Cleared all the way down. We'll do icing. We'll do it again.
Yeah, and a smart play by Prima. You notice both their defenders kind of coasting back there, taking about 30 off the tag.
Killing off that time. You couldn't do it in traditional sports. You can do it here. As if they waved off that icing. Doesn't happen in NHL 22. The scores come in. Reality check. Orebro hockey series tied 1-1. That laser came in, but missed the net, hit the glass. Limbe, short side chance, picks it up off the steal. Left point, now another penalty though. And you can't give up one here. This could be a momentum swing for Arctic.
Yeah, but you know, when you have a goalie that has been as good as Dankin, are you worried at this point? You know, he's been so phenomenal. You've been scoring on your penalty kills. You know, this is an answer for Arctic, but they need to take control right now.
See if they can. Face-off win back. Slap shotted up. Cleared out of the zone. Good clear by them, just killing off as much time as possible as we are past the halfway marker in the last regulation frame of game number 4. Arctic trying to get in the zone. They will. Setting it up now. Azastine. Down low. Limbe with a backhand chance. Low angle. Good save by Dankin.
Yeah, amazing save again by Dankin. He's been the best player on the ice, not just the best penalty killer. And when you're having a game like that, it is very trustworthy for the guys in front of you.
Face off to his right. One there by Arctic, looking to feed it in front. Good kneel down there by Snoozit to break that one up. 2-on-1 developing here if they hurry. Augezit trying to feed that one back to Hanka. Close one there, shut down by the defense in Arctic. Poke checked away, flipped out of the zone, and time will expire on the penalty here for Arctic. So they could not close the door on another power play opportunity, and that's been the tale of the game so far. Fed through. Fadimus, backhand chance. Sorry to cut you off there, Tegan, but a good save by Houston Cisco to keep the play going.
No, I'm glad you did, as that came out of absolutely nowhere, and that's what Fadimus has been good as for Prima. He comes out of left field, and what a play, almost gets another one.
Do they make a disruptor character trait in NHL 22? Because they should. And that should go to Fadimus.
Absolutely.
As they move behind the net, 5:20 to go here in the third period. Time is winding down for Arctic. Loose puck picked up, stolen by Snoozit, cleared out by Hanka. Hanka just feeding it up for Fadimus. He'll get there with speed off the bank. Got it down low, trying to drag it up with the left trigger. Slap shot in from a low angle shot, rebound chance. Third effort, fourth effort. Houston Cisco makes the save, clears it out though. Augezit trying to keep the pressure on them right now, keep the puck in the end of Arctic's defensive zone. And time is just not a lot left here for Arctic. 3-0 is your scoreline right now. 2:30 to play. Banked off the boards. Augezit. And for Prima Esports here right now, Tegan, this is something they got into the playoffs, and like we said in the opening part of the broadcast, anybody can make a story no matter how you got here as long as you get here.
Yeah, we got to remember this team was the best 3-5 team, and they are almost looking like the best 5-3 team with this showing.
Under a minute left here, real time, 60 seconds to conclude this hockey game, as it's all perhaps a formality at this point. Azastine for Iryu, slips past one, pulls the extra man out now. 6-on-5 hockey, which I guess doesn't make sense. Rebound chance though, backhand scores, and we might have something interesting developing here. It's now 3-1 and Arctic's knocking at the door.
Nick, so you're saying there's a chance? Because what a shot from the point, and that's what Arctic needed to start maybe a little earlier. They get a good face-off win in the neutral zone here and come down and get one possibly, but they've left themselves a pretty big hill to climb. They need a face-off win now.
Face-off's got to be crucial. They've been great on the dot so far, but they lose one there. Snoozit goes offside as they steal that one away. So we'll do the face-off again.
Wow. Snoosit's got to be happy about that one. That was a 3-on-1 going the other way, but it ended up being offside.
Dangerous, dangerous play there. He's counting his blessings for sure. Flipped up and out of the zone by Dasplund. And that's Naiku trying to just drive in. They pull their goalie again, just feeding it in front, trying to poke at it. It's loose at the doorstep. It's in, but it's waved off. Oh my goodness.
That one was just sitting there, but look at the goaltender interference. He wasn't able to grab the puck. That was all. They actually have 4 white skaters in the blue paint. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before in esports, but you gotta appreciate the effort here from Arctic.
The effort was there. This might have been all she wrote, though. Augezit with a breakaway, takes it in down low, holds it up against the board smartly, not giving away any chance there, as a great effort by Arctic to force the issue and try to keep this one interesting. Falls just inches short of a chance there for victory, so that's gonna do it. Prima Esports wins game 1, drops 4 in game 2 and gets shut out, and rallies to win games 3 and 4 to take this series 3 games to 1 in a best of 5 and move on for the Caps Gaming Showcase.
Yeah, great job here by Prima. What a period there. And I gotta say, by Augezit, what a job by him. There's 2 types of players in esports. There's players who like to score and players who like to win. And a goal scorer would have tried to put that in. Maybe had a big save and a goal at the other end, but a great job by him nonetheless, Brandon, to just keep that behind the net and take his team on to the next round.
Yeah, just a 200 IQ play there from Augezit, just knowing the situation and what you need to do. You said it yourself, Tegan, a lot of players, they want to go for that goal, maybe get that extra one, make that play, but a nice job from Augezit, knowing the position that his team was in, being up by 2, knowing they don't have to score. The clock is more important. You never know what can happen. Might get a turnover, might get a poke check, and then all of a sudden Arctic could be flying down the other end and having a chance to make this a 1-goal game. So a nice job there from Augezit to just keep things in control, keep the clock on their side, and to keep the lead where it was at. And how about Prima? An upset potentially as a 19 seed, 3-5 versus 4-4. Well, they're the ones moving on over Arctic, and in dominant fashion really in that game 4. They looked more like how Arctic looks normally with those 16 shots. Prima stepping up in a big time moment to get this win, and they're moving on to round 2 because of it, Tegan.
Yeah, they are moving on to round 2 and definitely deserve it. And one person they got to go pat on the pads is Dankin for sure, Brandon.
Oh yeah, he had an 89 save percentage in that game 4 after getting the shutout in game 3. He is definitely the MVP of this series for Prima if you were to choose one. But how about Snooset and Dasplund as well? They were rock solid on the back end in front of Dankin. Obviously, it's easy to give credit to the goalies because they're the ones making those big saves, sometimes bailing their team out and stopping those runs, especially against a team such as Arctic that really values putting those shots on net. But the defense of Dankin, the defense of Dasplund and Snooset, absolutely phenomenal. You even saw it especially in that game 4 with Prima not really allowing many shots for Arctic in that game, despite the time of attack, which normally Arctic, a team that doesn't necessarily value a lot of time of attack, but values shots on net. So the play styles kind of contrasting in that game. It benefited Prima. Their defense was spectacular, not allowing Arctic to get those opportunities. They are moving on to round 2 as a 19 seed. They're actually the first low seed to win a series so far. We had a couple of scares throughout the playoffs, but Prima, the first team to get an upset, so to speak, there with that 2-1, 3-1 series win over Arctic. A great series from Prima.
Yeah, and we saw, basically a perfect game from Arctic in game 2 as they came out and shot that puck like crazy. And then in game 3, it was like Dankin had just flipped a switch and turned things around, and it carried them into the next round.
Yeah, and Prima, they had kind of been doing that all series long, right? They would be down for a little bit, and then they would get that 1 or 2 spurt of plays that really started to get momentum going for them. And in that game 4 especially, it was a couple of saves from Dankin, and then all of a sudden, Prima was on the attack. They scored 3 unanswered, and Arctic just was never really able to come back from that. You get down that far, it's so hard to be able to climb your way back, especially in a situation like this where your backs are against the wall and your season is on the line, like RCTIC was there in that game 4. And, you go back to that stat that we mentioned earlier, RCTIC 8-1 in the regular season when they scored 3 goals or more. They were on the reverse side of that 1-8. Every game they lost in the series, they did not score 3 goals or more, and they were shut out in one of those games and held to 1 goal in 2 of them. So you got to credit the defense and the goaltending of Prima. They are really the stars of the series for them and the reason that they are moving on to the next round and extend their season to Sunday.
Very much so, as we want to give a big thank you to No Sleeves for coming in with that massive raid. Welcome everybody in. We just wrapped up the Caps Gaming Showcase presented by Leidos, where Prima came out and took the series 3-1 against an RCTIC team, Prima being the underdog. And Brandon, great stuff as always. We'll pop over and have a good talk with Nick and get his take on this. As Nick, what a fantastic series this was.
What an amazing series we saw from Prima esports, to be kind of an interesting way they got to the playoffs. And then once you got a shot, that's all that really matters. They took that shot, they were successful, and really only had 1 bad game. I mean, they had that goal early from RCTIC in game number 1, rallied back with 2 unanswered. They went to tie it, did RCTIC to force an overtime, and then they just put one home in OT. Fell 4-0 in game number 2. Snoosit standing tall in game number 3 with a game winner from the defensive side of the ice with a wraparound 5-hole, and then just putting the pressure on in game 4. That's really what kind of is the story of a team, I think, is the ability to show their different colors, show their character, show their weaknesses, but then how do you respond to the weaknesses? I think they did a great job there, and they showed that they did deserve to win this series regardless of what happened in game 2 and regardless of how they got here. So this is an exciting round here. I loved this matchup, and I thought it went really well for Prima, and RCTIC showed a heck of a performance, just fell a little bit short.
They definitely did. The best way I think I can put it is if RCTIC was a car, it just had no gas stations around. They were very good in game 1. They were very good in game 2, but it's like they ran out of juice. They were so aggressive there in game 1, and especially in game 2, where the forecheck was like nothing I'd ever seen. And then in game 3, it was like Prima had just taken a page out of their book and slapped it in and was ready to go.
Yeah, it's like, how do you sustain that kind of mental pressure, mental discipline when you're trying to be that aggressive? I think that's why forechecking is so hard, especially not only in traditional hockey, but in esports hockey. It's so hard to maintain that pressure because you have to put a lot of trust in your teammates. You have to put a lot of trust in yourself, and you have to hope that you get a couple of bounces. And to do that for a best of 5, probably a lot more difficult than just 1 game.
Yeah, it definitely is, or a best of 3 for that matter, Nick. You're absolutely right. And it's the teams that are going to keep their head in the game and continue. A 5-game push in one night can be a lot of hockey games to play, to have a roller coaster of emotions, especially in this esports scenario. And a great job there by Prima to be at the lower seed and carry themselves into the next round.
Yeah, next round indeed. That's what we want to get to. That's what they got to. And we have another contest here tonight. So that's not all she wrote for playoff hockey. We have another showing tonight, don't we, Tegan?
We definitely do, and a little close to home for this one for me, Nick, as I am very excited to grab this one tonight.
Hidden Potential versus the Wicked in the opening NA division playoff round tonight in another best of 5. We'll bring that to you at 9 p.m. Eastern time right here on twitch.tv/Capital. So if you're okay with that, I'm tired from that matchup. That was a great barn burner. I'm emotionally drained. I know you guys are as well. So we'll take a pause, at least for right now, and leave it here with a lot more hockey coming up tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So on behalf of the entire staff here at MSC at Caps Gaming, we want to thank our presenting sponsor, Leidos, and of course our partner over at Leaguegaming. For Nick DeMeo, myself, Tegan Blair, and of course Brandon Bigsby, wish you a safe Sunday afternoon. We'll see you at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Take care and be well.